And welcome to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. Tonight, Video Productions presents exciting high school football. It's a clash in Quad A. It's a battle of the presidents. It's number 9, George Washington, 7-2, taking on number 11, the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles. They are 5-4. Hello again, everybody. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas. We welcome you into the Dutch Miller Beckley Auto Mall pregame show. Chris Farish on stats. We have the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing, and Jackie Moon on camera. Eric, it's hard to believe we're finally here, the final weekend of the regular season of the 2024 high school football season.
Yeah, and what a dandy we have to wrap up the regular season here. And, you know, this we've stated the 4A class is pretty much a playoff game every week, and a lot of stakes on the line with the number 9 George Washington Patriots coming up here to take on the number 11 Flying Eagles of Beckley and Amaris. And this is as big as it gets for both of these teams. You know, you can move up in the rankings and maybe eye a home playoff spot with the win tonight.
Yeah, for the people that are tuning in that don't know, if you don't follow high school football that close, there's only 16 teams in Quad A in the state of West Virginia. So all 16 teams make it, and you're right, Eric. It's basically treated like a playoff game, but something maybe more important because George Washington at number 9, they feel if they win, there's a bucket load of points there from Beckley that can propel them into the top 8 to get at least one home playoff game. If you're Beckley and you're number 11 and you do win, and I don't know what all has to happen, but if the stars are aligned right, perhaps Beckley could leap into the top 8. But I think more importantly, and let's see if we can get your take on this, Eric, whoever loses this game is going to back into the playoffs on a losing streak. Beckley's already lost 3 in a row as they enter tonight. If they lose, they'll be going into the playoffs with a 4-game losing streak. George Washington lost last week to Hurricane. If they lose tonight, they'll be into the playoffs with a 2-game losing streak.
And both teams will have the luxury of going on the road with a losing streak too. And you're right. I think for this Beckley team, you really want to get off the snide. You played some great football early, and I know the opponents, you know, might not have been as good as the ones at the end of the year, but you got a quality win early in the year, and that's really looking good, beating a Washington team on the road who's gone on to only lose one more game this season. So, and for George Washington, you know, you don't hang your heads losing a Hurricane. You just want to get back on the winning track tonight.
As we take a look at both of these teams' schedule for George Washington, as I mentioned, they enter the ball game. They are 7-2, ranked number 9. They beat St. Albans 39-0. They beat John Marshall 14-6. Beat Cabell Midland 21-13. They really laid the wood to South Charleston 54-0. Then they lost to Spring Valley 28-18. Then they got back in the win column, a 28-14 win over Capital, 30-23 win over Parkersburg, a 49-0 shutout at Riverside. And then we mentioned last week they lost to Hurricane. They lost by the score of 37-21. So, Eric, on the flip side, you look at Beckley, as you mentioned, that first game of the season went into overtime, a long trip on the road. They beat Washington 17-10. They beat Greenbrier East 38-0. The game you and I had here on Video Productions, they lost here on this field to Parkersburg South 35-19. Then they bounced back with 43-7 win over Bluefield, 35-7 win over Preston. They creamed Riverside 50-12, and then they hit the skids. They've lost their last 3, 14-7 on the road at Princeton, 33-17 here at home to Spring Valley, and last week that you were there as a field reporter, losing to Oak Hill 19-14.
Yeah, and sandwiched in between the Princeton and Oak Hill game, which, you know, those are kind of rivalry games teams you're familiar with, is a Spring Valley team that has beat one. It's a common opponent for both of these teams, and pretty much they both got beat by the same amount by them. And so I think on paper this game really stacks up as a pretty even as far as these two teams go, but I'm anxious to see which team can bounce back, and that being Beckley. I think the Princeton game led to 2 other losses.
You know, you're right, Eric, as I take a look, as you were talking there, as you look at the 2 common opponents, it is Spring Valley and Riverside, and Spring Valley beat George Washington 28-18. They beat Beckley 33-17, so very close of the score there, and then George Washington, they beat Riverside 49-0, and Beckley beat them 50-12.
Yeah, so it seems like it stacks up right now on paper to be, you know, an even battle. And right on senior night tonight, let's see which team, if GW is going to come up here and be a spoiler to the seniors, or if the Beckley Flying Eagles are going to send their seniors into the postseason with a victory.
Well, you know, Beckley will be saying goodbye to 13 seniors. George Washington has 12. And, Eric, you know, you played. So do you think that the senior night gives you a little bit more incentive, or does it not matter? Is it a distraction? What do you think?
Well, I think it's funny you asked that, because I can remember my senior night more than any game that I played during my high school career because it comes to reality. It's a reality that you're not going to be in this locker room again, as a player on this field. It's real emotional. I don't know. It's how you harness that emotion and play. I mean, it could be a detriment. You try too hard. You just want to go out and play your game, but there's still a lot on your mind.
And if Beckley doesn't win tonight, no matter how far they would go in the playoffs, they'd probably have to do it all on the road if they don't get it done here tonight.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think it's integral. Like you said, I was at the Oak Hill game last week, and I think I stated this to you off the air. I really didn't see bad body language from when you lose 3 in a row. It seemed like they still were together. Not a lot of pointing fingers, like guys, and that's when you got a close-knit group of players. And I think they need to harness that tonight and really try to get after it. And GW is a well-coached team with Steve Edwards Jr., who's been there since, 80?
He's been there a while. Well, his dad coached before that. He's been for a while. His dad coached back in the 90s into the early 2000s.
Okay, so I think
he's been here a while.
Probably 20 years, something like that.
Something like that. He's been there a while.
But anyway, he's a playoff coach, and his teams are well-disciplined usually, and they play – good sound football, and I think that's one thing that has bitten this Beckley team. They make some errors and penalties at the most inopportune times that really drive killers.
Right.
They don't have the type of offense that once you get behind the chains that you can really rally and get a 3rd and 16.
We're going to take our first pregame break, and we'll come back and get you ready for the kickoff at the bottom of the hour. It is a number 9 in Quad A, George Washington, 7-2 at number 11 Beckley, 5-4 in Quad A. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert Z. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
We won't raise your rates just because of an accident. Sure, everyone thinks they're a good driver. But when an accident happens, with Allstate, you don't have to worry, even if it's your fault. It's called accident forgiveness, and it starts the day you sign up. You're in good hands with Allstate.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment Champion Mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Done.
It's that easy with compliance. Compliance. We've got your back office.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Let the sunshine in. Get started today with new windows and doors from Window World of Beckley. What better way to do that than our energy-efficient windows and doors for every budget and style? We offer superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price. We offer great financing options too. So why wait? Transfer your home today with Window World of Beckley and let the sun shine in.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel, the old country store, locations in Princeton and Beckley. And Eric, boy, you and I, we had a fabulous pregame meal along with our stat guy, Chris Ferris. And now I know why Chris is so good at doing his job, because he goes to Cracker Barrel and has that pregame meal. That even makes me smarter. How you like that?
Hey, I was glad I was able to show up. That was a perfect meal. Great time discussing football, and made me ready to come out here and really broadcast this game.
Yeah, I had me some mashed potatoes, green beans. I had the meatloaf. You had what, the pot roast?
Pot roast, exactly.
It was delicious.
With a side of green beans.
Yes, Cracker Barrel. They treat us right, they'll treat you right. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company offers no premium, no deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer a company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. You can apply for a job within the Infinity Coal Company. You can go through their Facebook page at United Coal. Well, Eric, as we take a look at the series history between these two teams, this will be the 25th game between the two teams. George Washington leads the overall series 16-8. George Washington won big a year ago, beating Beckley 62-8.
Yeah, that was a sound butt kicking. Let's just call it what it was. And a lot of the players, same players from that game, are facing up tonight. So I wonder if that's in the back of the mind of the Beckley players, because once you get embarrassed like that, you have a little chip on your shoulder.
And you think Beckley would definitely, of the players that played in that game a year ago that are out on the field tonight, would definitely remember that. It was the final game of the year last season on a very similar night down at George Washington. And like I said, 62-8, the game was never close.
Yeah, never close. And, this in the back of the mind of the George Washington players as well, because a lot of them are going to say, hey, same cast of characters, let's just go on the road and take that butt kicking up to Beckley this Friday night.
A couple different nuggets about this series too. Beckley has only beaten George Washington one time since 2005, and I bring this up, Eric, because you're obviously well aware of this. Your son was on that team that beat George Washington in 2017, and George Washington had a quarterback by the name of Grant Wells that went on to play Marshall, then transferred to Virginia Tech. But like I said, since 2005, the team your son Peyton was on is the only team for Beckley to have a win over GW during that time period.
And you know what? We talked about it, and I was able to rattle that off to you because I can remember film study, watching the film, with Peyton on the various formations of George Washington. You know what I came out and said? I said, if you guys don't turn this guy over a couple of times, he has the strongest arm that you will ever face, because I think he's a D1 talent, and he went on to prove me right. I mean, he's reckless, and I said, but he's so in love with his arm that he would take a few chances.
Chances he probably shouldn't take.
That's right. But, all quarterbacks think that they complete. And I remember Beckley picking him off twice, had a big punt return in the special teams that set up a touchdown, and the stars aligned for him that night.
And, Eric, perhaps one of the most interesting nuggets, at least for me, this stadium here at Van Meter Stadium, when it opened in 1985, Beckley's first opponent, George Washington.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, the very first game played at this stadium when it opened, like I said, in 1985, was Beckley against George Washington.
And I know over the years this team, you said this is the 25th meeting, but they had, George Washington's had the upper hand
16-8
in the last few meetings. So
yeah. So anyway, it's going to be a beautiful night. This is the final night of the regular season. The postseason will begin next week. Where we will be next week, we don't have any idea, but perhaps we could be here at Van Meter Stadium in Beckley, but for that to happen, Beckley needs to win this game, Eric, and they got to probably have some help. Yeah,
a lot of things can happen, but you got to take care of business item number one, and that's win the game tonight. As just George Washington, they have visions of hosting a playoff game next Friday as well.
And, for the 8th of November, you really can't ask for a better night weather-wise. We had a little rain and fog earlier this morning in the Beckley area, but really by midday the sun was out. And tonight we're going to have a clear, cooled, maybe by the time we're done, maybe cold night. We're probably going to dip into the 40s by the time the game's over.
Yeah, but it's upper 40s, and that's one thing I checked. And you're right, it was like a tale of two days.
2 days, right.
Yeah, I mean from 7 to probably 12:30.
Yeah.
Overcast, rain, misting,
and then
fog.
All of a sudden the sun came out.
The sun came out.
Well, like I said, as fans, they've all are kind of bundled up below us, and I guess they've got their blankets, they've got their hats, they're ready to go. The Beckley Flying Eagle Band out on the field. The game will kick off at the bottom of the hour in about 15 or 16 minutes. We'll take our second pregame break, and we'll get you ready for the opening kickoff coming up at the bottom of the hour here on Video Productions.
Miller's Beckley Auto.
Personalized care. Preparing for your little one's arrival is a special time. And when the big day arrives, you can be confident when you have the same team to guide and support you. Access Health, your partner in health every step of the way.
When you're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our New Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that.
Done. It's that easy with compliance. Compliance. We've got your back office.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert Z. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Don't drop the ball. Come see your hometown legends at the all-new Greenbrier Ford in Beckley. We won't be beat.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Seconds on the clock. He hands it off. Finds a hole in the middle. Clear. Nothing but incredible. A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza. Better with Pepsi.
And And welcome back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas. We have the stat man, Chris Farish, with us. The heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing, and Jackie Moon on camera. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Your State Farm agent, Scotty Brown in Shady Spring, you can dial him up at 681-238-6130. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Leisure Lanes, Johnstown Road in Beckley. And Eric, they're already planning on a New Year's Eve party. And you got to start now. You got to make your plans. It's hard to believe we're talking about the New Year's Eve Rock and Bowl party. And you need reservations. It goes from 9 o'clock on New Year's Eve to 1 a.m. And for reservations, you need to call Leisure Lanes. We'll give you all the details about everything going on. 304-253-7328. All right, Eric, now it's time to talk about some of the participants in the game tonight. Take a look at George Washington, their quarterback, Cy Persinger. He enters the game. He's completed 52 of 95 passes for 705 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions.
Yeah, and it seems like he really gets the ball, spreads the ball around to several receivers and running backs, and Beckley will really have to try to get after him and get him off his mark.
One of their running backs, and actually an all-purpose player, is Hunter Giacomo. Giacomo has rushed for 482 yards and 4 touchdowns. And also Solomon Farrell. Farrell, he has caught 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 20 yards a catch, and he averages 51 yards per game receiving.
Yeah, and that's an all-purpose kind of player right there. And you know, Beckley and George Washington likes to move those players around. Like you said, they're interchangeable. So some of them might be in the slot, might be in the backfield. So it'll be an interesting night defensively.
And Brown, also an all-purpose player.
Yeah, Savion Brown.
Brown.
Yeah, that's the one that they really, will use and move around a lot. So Beckley, you just can't get caught up in, any specific player. You're going to have to really just play sound defense.
With Savion Brown, he averages 123 yards rushing and scored 11 touchdowns. By the way, while we were talking there, Eric, we game that we're covering on video productions. It started 7 o'clock. Hurricane is up on Martinsburg 17-0 in the first quarter. How about that?
Wow. I mean, all right. You're talking about a team just coming off a whooping
George
GW.
Washington. All right, now we look on the Beckley side, and even though Beckley has a multitude of guys that run the ball, seems like now they've kind of found their 1-2 punch, and that's been Connor Ray. Connor Ray is rushed for 457 yards and 5 touchdowns, but the leading rusher, Bryce Ford, 764 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And Bryce Ford and Connor Ray, they both do it kind of the same, running up inside for tough yards, but Bryce Ford had 3 times last week where I thought he was going to break one, and Oak Hill would make a shoestring tackle to get him down. So I think it's going to be integral for both of those guys for Beckley to really get off. I think as a team collectively to win this game, Beckley has to rush for 220, 250.
Well, the one thing is in any of these games, whoever's going to win the game has to take care of the ball.
Yeah, turnovers are going to be key. But I think really if Beckley's struggling to move the rock on the ground, it's going to be tough.
Well, it's a beautiful night, a clear night here in Beckley, and we'll get you ready for the opening kickoff at the bottom of the hour, where it is George Washington, 7-2, ranked number 9 in Quad A against number 11 Quad A Beckley, 5-4. The kickoff comes up next here on Video Productions.
Folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
When you're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
When we think about substance use disorder in our communities, we can use this as an example of how to work together. It may seem small, but in creating this mural, everyone played a role in breaking through stigma and turning this wall into something vibrant and meaningful. This is a huge sign of support, solidarity, and love. When it comes to how we think about recovery, it takes all of us to break through addiction. Learn more at backtolifewv.org.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our new Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Let the sunshine in. Get started today with new windows and doors from Window World of Beckley. What better way to do that than our energy-efficient windows and doors for every budget and style? We offer superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price. We offer great financing options too. So why wait? Transfer your home today with Window World of Beckley and let the sun shine in.
I'm preparing to save lives.
I'm making a difference.
I am learning from the best.
In state-of-the-art facilities. I'm a nursing student
at West Virginia Wesleyan College.
With skilled nurses needed more than ever, West Virginia Wesleyan wants to help you launch your own in-demand career. You'll benefit from a recent $500,000 upgrade to our nursing labs. Learn from expert faculty and be considered for generous scholarships. Become a nurse. Start your journey at West Virginia Wesleyan College.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas. We've got the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing. Maddie Belcher made it. She's directing. We have Jackie Moon on camera, and we have the stat genius himself, Mr. Chris Farish, with us, as tonight's broadcast is being brought to you in part by Exit Elevation Realty. Luke Richmond, the broker, 304-256-0101. You can check him out at wvexitelevation.com. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Edward Jones. Heather Cantley is your Edward Jones financial advisor, and Heather takes care of me. She can take care of you. You worked hard for your money, so now let your money work hard for you. You can call up Heather at 681-254-0097. Well, Eric, put your coaching cap on right now. If you are Steve Edwards Jr. in the locker room, what's the final thing that you are telling your players before they take the field?
I think he's really just concerned with shutting down that run game and make Beckley be two-dimensional, so to speak. They want them to be in third down situations where you can pin your ears back and go get the quarterback.
And if you're Street Surratt in the Beckley locker room, you're telling your team what?
Up front, the big boys have to get after it up front. We got to be in second and 6, 3rd and 2 type situations to really get this game, in our favor.
Well, Beckley makes their way out onto the field. And here comes George Washington. The one thing about it, Eric, we'll have a lot of maroon out on the field. Beckley will be wearing the white helmets with the maroon jerseys and maroon pants. George Washington makes their way across the way. They'll have the silver helmet, the white jerseys, and also the maroon pants, but they'll have the white braids down the side of the pants.
Right, yeah, and I think GW is trying to intimidate Beckley a little bit. It's kind of a little disrespectful running across the entrance of Beckley, so I like to see this. Let's get it on tonight.
Well, like we mentioned, in this series, George Washington leads the overall series 16-8, including a 62-8 beatdown of Beckley a year ago. So for nothing else, and of course, revenge, I guess, is always a part of it. But if you just execute and do what you do, the revenge part will take care of itself.
Yeah, and as many coaches would say that you can't carry those points over from last year. So you got beat by 50 some. So. But I think in the back of both teams' minds, I think GW thinks they have an advantage. We kind of stole their heart last year, and now we're going to see if Beckley is going to try to get some revenge, get some get back on senior night here.
This stadium opened in 1985, and the first game played in it was Beckley and George Washington, and George Washington spoiled the opener of this stadium by beating Beckley that night in 1985.
Yeah, so that's part of history right there. They can say they can say this is George Washington Field, right? I mean, they came up here in an opening game and ruined the christening of the Beckley of this stadium.
So we'll have the meeting of the captains momentarily out at midfield for the toss of the coin. Meantime, Eric, one of our other games that we are carrying on video productions tonight, Martinsburg making the long trip down to Hurricane, and Martinsburg just scored, but Hurricane leads 17-6 in the first quarter as Martinsburg is set to try the point after. But I tell you, when people see that score, that's going to raise a lot of eyebrows that Martinsburg down 17-6 in the first quarter.
Yeah, but the thing a lot of people will see though, 17 to soon to be 7. The good news is Hurricanes up 17-7 if you're a Hurricane fan, but the bad news is it's the first quarter, so there's 3 more quarters of football to be played.
Well, there was a penalty, and they haven't tried the point after, so they still have 6, and it's going to cost Martinsburg 5 yards on the extra point. But anyway, back to the game we're at. You can see the captains coming out on the field. Like I said, Beckley will send off 13 seniors tonight here on senior night. George Washington with 12 seniors as the captains meet, and we're getting ready to have the flip of the coin, and we're moments away from getting the ball game started. So there's the captains. They exchange handshakes, and the referee's explaining the situation to them. And we'll have the coin in the air, and then it won't be long, we'll have the ball in the air and ready to roll. Beautiful night, like I said. Really, overall, the weather, Eric, that we've had for this 2024 high school football season has been great. And it's hard to believe when we started our first game back on August the 30th how the season has gone so fast. Now, we were down there at Liberty for Polk and Liberty, and here we are, the final weekend of the regular season.
So I have to tell you, this conversation I had leading up to this game, coming to the game, this football season in early November and late October has been warmer than track season the first month of this past track season.
I was trying to see who won the toss. Whoever won the toss has deferred. And now we'll get it straightened out. So it looks like George Washington's going to get the ball first, and they will. So George Washington will get the ball first. And if you're Beckley, with the kind of kicker they have, you think you'd want to kick the ball deep and cover and try to pin George Washington deep in the hole. I know we've seen a lot of squib kicks from Beckley, and not just Beckley, but other teams too, that gives these teams a little bit shorter field.
Yeah, their kicker, might be a little tired because, the kickers both play soccer, and hats off to the soccer team from Beckley as they've gone to the state championship game for the first time since 2010. But I'm like you. I think you should place it. Don't kick it straight down the middle. You want to try to, if you're going to pin them, around the 30, 25-yard line and angle kick it, directional kick.
In fact, Beckley, as you mentioned, their boys soccer team will take on Hurricane for the championship tomorrow, but I think George Washington's girls team also made the state.
Yeah, and they did, and I was about to say that because they actually upset. I think they played the number 1 seed maybe. I know the 2 top seeds lost in the women's and the girls division.
So we're ready to go. Beckley's got it teed up. Equal distance between the hashes there on a beautiful night here on the 8th of November here in Beckley. The Flying Eagles enter the game, as we mentioned. Number 11, 5-4. George Washington, number 9 at 7-2. And just waiting for the officials to give the okay. And it looks like we will be ready. Going back deep on the far side is Hunter Giacomo. He's on and trying to see who's in the middle. I can't quite make out their numbers, and they turn around, and then I'll have an idea. Kicking the ball off for Beckley will be Vince Umberger. And we're underway, and it is a deep kick. It will be taken by Giacomo about the 13-yard line. He's up over the 20, got a seam. He's across the 30, and a good return out over the 40-yard line. A nice return, or maybe right at the 40. And there's where George Washington will start 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Patriots on their own 40-yard line. A nice return by Giacomo. The quarterback, as I mentioned, is Cy Persinger. Persinger, 52 of 95 for 705 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. 1st and 10 for GW on their own 40-yard line. From the shotgun.
And as you state, look, a lot of shifting and motion going to make these defensive backs and safeties really cover the field.
They'll go empty. They'll set up a wide receiver screen. It's caught. It's going to have a good gain. A 1st down the near sideline, inside the 30, and run all out of bounds all the way inside the 25. And that is Giacomo on the reception and a well-executed wide receiver screen on the game's first play.
And right off the bat, I'm just going to call it like I said right here, poor defense. The corner reads the play, doesn't turn it up enough, and safety takes a bad angle, and there you go. First play deep into Beckley territory already for George Washington.
Yeah, all the way down to the Beckley 22-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Patriots. Persinger from the shotgun. Puts a man in motion. They'll go empty again. They look like they're flooding to the top of the screen. Persinger takes the snap, sets the throw. It's caught. spins, gets inside the 20, breaks a tackle, and a good reception, and gets another first down to the Beckley 11-yard line. And that time, that's Brown on the reception.
Yeah, and the thing with this, if you look on this on tunnel screen right here, initial great defense, just missed tackles. I mean, you have to tackle in space, and GW right now is drawing it up perfect. Really spreading them out and putting pressure on the DBs, the safeties, and the corners here.
1st and 10. Once again, a lot of motion, a lot of shifting.
This is going to like a wildcat because the quarterback is out.
Well, no, that's still him. Oh, no, you're right. That is a wildcat. And there's a running play up inside, and that's a good run. That's Brown again. You're exactly right. When they moved out, and a lot of their players, they look almost just alike. And like I said, they're interchangeable parts, and it's a 2nd down from the Beckley 6-yard line.
Well, this is what, the 4th play of the possession, and they've really scripted this game, scripted it up early, and Beckley's really on their heels. Not a lot of good decisions by the defensive backfield.
And you're right, that was Giacomo who took that snap, and Giacomo once again is lined up as a Wildcat, or in this case maybe the Patriot.
Yeah, the quarterback's not even in the contest right here.
Yeah, so Giacomo will take the snap. The ball's low.
Fumble.
They fumbled it, and it's loose. Did Beckley get it? Beckley thinks they got it, and they do. A big break early in the game. We talked about that in the pregame show about taking care of the ball, and GW turns it over inside the 10.
Well, disaster from the beginning of this play as the snap was sort of low. And you know one thing happens when you run out of Wildcat and stuff. Guys that normally do the handoffs and stuff, it's just not as crisp. And big break right there because Beckley was really on their heels. And let's see if they can block the guys up front for GW.
Yeah, Beckley, you're right. They were back on their heels. George Washington had something going. So Beckley will take over on their own 8-yard line. And coming into quarterback will be, let's see who will it be for Beckley. It's probably going to be Gage Price, the 6', 180-pound sophomore.
Well, I'm going to give you a number to watch on defense. Big 78 for GW, Javon Davis. And they're going to have to really block him.
There's a Beckley run that's going to be a good gain. A penalty flag comes in.
Right out of the shoot. And that's another thing we've talked about in the pregame too, is you can't. I mean, first play, I'm going to see who it's on, but if it's on Beckley, that's what you can't have deep in your territory.
The near side judge is the one that threw the flag, and actually there's one on the other side too. George Washington may have been off sides or maybe illegal substitution, and that's the call. It's going to go against George Washington for illegal substitution.
Yeah, big break for Beckley right there. It goes to I didn't even see the play. Did it go for no gain?
Well, no, the play goes across the head at the 8. The ball will go across the 10 and get out to the 13-yard line, pick up 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5. So Beckley will take the result of the play. Beckley with the tight formation on 2nd and 5. They'll run the ball and get across right to the 15. That is carrying the ball that time is Bryce Ford, the team's leading ball carrier and rusher, and it'll bring up 3rd down for Beckley.
And big tackle by linebacker Gunnar Flores as he came up from his linebacker position. We might be saying his name a lot because the linebacker is really going to have to come up big with this run-heavy offense for Beckley.
They'll put the ball at the 16. It'll be 3rd and 2 for George.
They have it 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2. So maybe, I don't know what the down was. Here's a sweep to the far side, and that's going to get a Beckley first down and a big play out to the 25-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a bigger play and a nice run that time by Christian Stewart.
Well, great tackle. I don't know. Someone may have saved 6 right there as Christian Stewart cuts it back. I think it's going to be Davis misses the tackle for George Washington, and Jackson Morgan saves what would have been a bigger gainer. I don't know if it would have went for 6, but on the cutback, it looked like all the George Washington defense was headed towards their sideline.
It was a 9-yard pickup, a first down for Beckley on their 25. They run straight ahead. They move the pile maybe 2 yards, perhaps 3, I think only 2 yards, out to the 27-yard line, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for Beckley. And the one thing, too, here, Eric, I think by Beckley doing this, they also can eat clock ball control. And, two, that the fact this drive started on their own 8-yard line, being a little bit more conservative with their play call.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything destructive early on offensively. And when you have a little bit of momentum, because anytime you get a turnover, you steal a possession, so to speak.
2nd and 8 for Beckley. Put a man in motion. They're going to hand him the ball. He's going to cross the 30 and get out for a first down. That's a good hard run, and I think that was Ford.
Oh, Ford.
That was Ford, and he picks up another Beckley first down.
I knew I was going to do that because you remember the player, Bryce Ford Wheaton, that played for WVU.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that, I want to stick that extra. Sorry about that, Mr. Ford.
That's a 10-yard carry for Bryce Ford. Like I said, he's the team's leading rusher, entered the game with 764 yards and 4 touchdowns. And right now, Beckley went into war up front, able to knock GW off the ball.
And that's all you can ask for early on in the game. It's a battle in the trenches, and Beckley's right now to this point, or a quick handoff and really getting after him.
Move the pile up to the 40-yard line and pick up 3. And, Eric, as long as you're Beckley and you can get 3 and 4 yards a clip, that's what you want to keep doing.
Yeah, that's a positive sign.
So the carry will get the ball to the 40-yard line, make it 2nd and 7. George Washington had a nice drive going, but they turned it over. They fumbled inside the 10. Beckley took over at the 8-yard line. This will be the 7th play of the drive. 2nd down and 7 for George Washington on their own 40-yard line. Once again, this tight formation. Price up under center. And a little cross buck up inside. That's a nice gain, but then George Washington shuts it down after about a 2, maybe 3-yard pickup, going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, and good initial hit and surge by GW. I think that was going to be Hunter Giacomo coming up from his linebacker position, making a great tackle.
So the ball's at the 43. They've got to get the ball across the 45 out to the 47, so they'll need 4 yards on this 3rd down play. And Beckley's had success running the ball, and you think that's probably what they're going to do again with this tight formation. On 3rd down, they'll go quick. They run the ball. That's Ford again. He looks like he's going to have the 1st down. George Washington pushed him back, but he's right at the down marker, Eric. If he doesn't have it, he's going to be maybe like 6 inches short. He looks like he's right there.
Yeah, it depends on if it's a right foot spot. And it was a
short. He's short by, like I said, maybe a foot.
I think they might measure that. I think he's got it by a nose.
They will measure, and actually from our position, Eric, he's got to get the ball to the 47. And I'm with you. I think he's going to have it. The nose of the football looks like it's hitting right on the 47.
I think it's going to be by a nose.
So we will see as they bring the chain gang out. And we'll have a measurement. 6:46 for the opening quarter. George Washington on their first possession, they fumbled at the Beckley 8. It does look like it'll be enough for a first down.
Short.
Nope, it's going to be just short, and it'll be 4th down. And I think the way Beckley has ran the ball, no question they'll go for it here.
But here's where you got to win the battle, and you have to run. You get your quarterback under center and quarterback sneak it. Just tell them to get lower than everyone, and you got to be able to pick up 2 inches.
Yeah, and if you're Beckley, you can't allow George Washington to get penetration here. But no question, Beckley will keep their offense out on the field. It's 4th down and basically, like you said, 2 inches. Maybe just a quick quarterback sneak and go forward. But so far on this drive, and this will be the 9th play of the drive, the Beckley offensive line has definitely won the war up front.
And it looks like George Washington's taking out some of their bigger guys for some smaller, quicker guys probably try to shoot a gap.
So
looks
on 4th
like 31's
down,
on the nose.
They'll run the ball straight ahead and pick up the 1st down, get just shy of midfield to the 49-yard line, and they got the spot to gain and then some. Is carrying the ball is Jacob Reeves.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was Jacob Reeves and punched it up in, and that's a senior, been around the program for a long time, and really helped change the culture and turn it around for Beckley.
That is the 3rd first down on the drive. 1st and 10, Beckley on their own 49. Once again, tight formation. Everything's been on the ground. Here's a running play, and that's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage as George Washington was ready for that. That time, Beckley gave the ball to A.J. Thomas, and Thomas had nowhere to go.
Got to give you a little nugget. 78 here on the tackle. Initial tackle for George Washington is tackling his first cousin.
And, of course, Eric, you are related to both of them.
Yes.
So that'll go for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Beckley on their own 49-yard line. Like I said, this will be the 11th play of the drive. The 10 previous plays have been all on the ground.
So bragging rights right now goes to 78, right? Javon Davis on this one.
All right, 2nd and 10 for Beckley from their own 49-yard line. Price up under center. Rolls to pass, sets up, looks, throws short. It's almost intercepted. In fact, I tell you, if it had been intercepted, that might have gone the other way for his touchdown. Yes.
It was 6. And, and the quarterback, this is a good play call, well designed. You have to throw this up over. It's like he doesn't see He's throwing it on the line. If he puts some air under that, that's a completion.
Yeah, if Giacomo would have intercepted that, nothing but clear sailing to the end zone. And now, for no team, but especially Beckley, this is where you don't want to be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where maybe I would have tried to run it. You had success and try to get it to a shorter down the distance on 3rd down.
So 3rd and 10. Back to pass goes Price. Sits in the pocket, looks, throws, and he's going to overshoot his intended receiver. As going up the field that time was Christian Stewart, and the ball sails over his head. 4th down. If you're Beckley, you really got to punt here.
Yeah, you got to punt it away, and you missed a golden opportunity on this seam route right here, wide open. You just got to put it on him. Got to put it on him right there.
So on 4th down, the Beckley drive stalls. It started on their own 8-yard line. So they had 12 plays, and now this will be the 13th play of the punt here on 4th down, as they'll give the ball back to George Washington. Here's the snap. Kick almost blocked. Pretty good kick, and won't be returned. It'll take a big Beckley bounce, and it'll go inside the 20. And let's see where they'll put the ball at. Maybe the referee's walking up to the 19-yard line. And that's where George Washington will take over for the 2nd time on their own 19-yard line. So George Washington, the first time they had the ball, they moved down the field. They got to the Beckley 6 and lost it on a fumble. Beckley recovered at the 8. And now Beckley was able to get 3 first downs before they ended up punting. And now George Washington will take over 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line. So let's see what the Patriots will do. 1st and 10. And it's going to be a running play to the far side. Going to cross the 20, cross the 25, and a nice gain. And that time with the carry, let's see who that was. That is going to be Flores with the carry.
Yeah, I think right here, GW may have got away with a motion. They had a guy in motion, and another guy moved as the guy was in motion.
So Flores has the carry. They get the ball out to the 27-yard line, 2nd and 2. Like I said, George Washington with a lot of motion, moving a lot of guys around. Persinger, long count, takes the snap. It's a handoff up inside. Actually, that was Flores that took the snap. And that play is not going to get a first down. It may have get a yard, but not much there. Good defense by Beckley.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of, like you said, a bunch of these guys are interchangeable. I mean, GW is really going deep into the playbook. And as far as formations and moving a lot of people.
And now what do we got? We have a timeout on the field.
And they gave him a first down?
Yeah, I don't know. It sure didn't look like it. They gave him a first down as they respot the ball. And GW will have a first down now on their own 29-yard line. I'm with you, Eric. I don't know because when they initially spotted short now, it looked like Beckley may have jumped, but they didn't. Here's the shotgun snap. Pressure comes. They're going to throw it.
That's a block
in the back as Giacomo makes the catch down the sideline. He's down to the Beckley 40 as Beckley runs him out of bounds, but the penalty is going to bring it back because they'll either call that pass interference or a block in the back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a block in the back. But see, that time the corner for Beckley actually tried to – yeah, that's a clear block in the back.
Well, the only reason I think they might call it pass interference because they made the hit when the ball was in the air.
Right.
So that's what the officials are discussing. But either way, the penalty will go against George Washington. And one thing, there must have been something that George Washington has seen on film because they've tried that, and it's the third time that they've tried that, like the tunnel screen or wide receiver screen.
Yes.
And they've been successful, but that time they had a penalty on it. So the flag came right there. I mean, the flag came out right as soon as the contact was made, and I think they'll call pass interference because, like I said, contact was made when the ball was in the air. And they also got for illegal man downfield.
Oh, okay.
So had the illegal man not been downfield, they were going to call that a legal play.
Wow.
Wow, that's what I thought. But the penalty will bring the play back.
I mean, these formations, and now it's wider splits, going 2-by-2, and with a stack at the bottom of the screen here, what's out of the screen, and this is man coverage, and it puts a lot of pressure on your DBs to be sound in who they're picking up here.
So they'll take the ball back to the 24-yard line. It's a 5-yard penalty. Make it 1st and 15 from their own 24. And now what do we got?
Timeout.
And George Washington takes a timeout. So while we got a minute, Eric, see if you got some scores, like if you can get us caught up on the on the Hurricane Martinsburg game.
Well,
the last time we saw it was 17-7.
Well, it's getting ready to be 17-14.
Well, out of bounds at the 2. Of course, that's all depending if Martinsburg can make the extra point. They have a first and goal at the 1. As Hurricane with 7:42 remaining in the first half, they lead Martinsburg 17-7.
Yeah, and I'm having trouble getting this scoreboard to load. And right when I say it.
You had the Shady Wheeling Central score, right?
Shady 35. Wheeling Central 35, Shady 7. Here's another local team that went on the road. The former opponent of last week, Oak Hill, on the road at University and getting taken to the woodshed right now. University 20, Oak Hill 0 in the second quarter.
Also, Independence playing at home tonight. They're home against Summers County.
They're up 22 to nothing in the second quarter.
Martinsburg just scored a touchdown to make it 17-13 as they get ready to try the extra point. We're able to watch that game while we're broadcasting this one. That's also on Video Productions tonight. So out of the timeout, George Washington will have it on their own 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15. And the Patriots are going to put twin receivers to the top of the screen, twin here to the bottom of the screen. Of course, they run from the shotgun.
Same formation.
Yeah.
When it's like this, it's up to your guys up front to get some pressure. This is a straight run.
Straight run all the way, and that's going to be a big run. And that's going to get some penalty yardage and then some, get the ball out to the 35-yard line.
A numbers game, lighten that box, and Beckley's not doing a good job with initial contact and bringing down the running backs for GW. Great hard run. I think that was Flores again.
It was, and he gets the ball across the 35 out to the 36-yard line. So it was 1st and 15. He got 12 on the play. So to bring up 2nd and 3. Been a quick moving first quarter because Beckley ran it every time they had it and then had to punt. George Washington has been able to put it up a couple times. Here's a running play. Beckley's up to the task. That's maybe back to the line of scrimmage, or they might give him a yard. Not much there. It'll bring up 3rd down.
And that's the first time this possession that seemed like Beckley kind of won the line of scrimmage up front.
They may give him a yard out to the 37. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the George Washington Patriots.
Well, Beckley almost did the unthinkable. Almost had 12 people on the field.
And that quick snap, they moved the pile.
Ball's out.
Is it out?
The ball was way out. I mean, the ball was way out.
Well, apparently George Washington's back on it, and it's going to bring up 4th down, and George Washington's going to have to punt. Looked like George Washington tried to go on a very quick snap, and the ball is out, as you can see on the replay.
Yeah.
But the loss will take the ball back to the 36-yard line, so it'll bring up 4th down, and George Washington will have to kick it away.
And right now, both teams just sizing one another up, and Beckley will have a chance for its second possession here.
So that penalty really hurt this drive for George Washington. Here comes the kick.
That's a short kick.
Yep, it's a short kick. He shanked it off the side of his foot. It'll take a big George Washington bounce and roll down to the 32-yard line, and that's where Beckley will take over. And we got a flag, and I think this is going to go against Beckley maybe, because you had a Beckley player on top of a George Washington player, and he was giving him the business, and then the flag came out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it might have been. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. Let's see.
Let's watch it right here. You can see the Beckley player taking the George Washington player to the ground, and he gets on top of him. And if we can see this replay right here, George Washington guy trying to fight his way up.
The George Washington guy may have given the Beckley guy the business.
Maybe. We'll see how they call it, or it might be offsetting, and they're going to call the penalty on George Washington. You are correct.
And Chris Ferris was all over that one. The handy-dandy stat man.
So with the penalty, that'll take the ball back across the 40 and get the ball out to the 42, and that's where Beckley will start this drive on their own 42-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Flying Eagles. They run that tight formation. Price up under center, puts a man in motion. They'll give it to him. It's a good run, good power run across midfield and very close, and I think he's got the 1st down. And let's see who that was.
I think that was Bryce Ford again.
It was Ford, and I think that's going to be enough, and it will be enough for a Beckley 1st down.
Yeah, Bryce Ford, he does. I call him what you call it. He's kind of like a momentum runner. Once he gets going downhill, he is a tough guy to bring down once he gets those legs going.
So it's a first down at the George Washington 48-yard line. And once again, Beckley has not needed to really throw. They've attempted a couple of passes that they weren't able to hit on, but they've been very successful when they've been running the ball. As they'll do it again here on this play, trying to get to the edge. And a nice gain down to the George Washington 42-yard line.
There's MJ Staples right there with the little counter, right? And a big gain on first down. Picks up, about 6?
Yep, gets the ball down to the 42, a 6-yard pickup, second down and 4. We're under a minute for the first quarter.
Well, it looks like Beckley's doing a good job, actually, of mixing it up with a lot of legs, keeping fresh legs, getting the rock right now.
So let's see what Beckley will dial up on the second down play from the GW 42. Price up under center. Looks over the defense. Takes the snap. It's going to be another running play. And that's Ford, and he'll get the ball to the GW 40 and pick up 2 and bring up a third down.
Yeah, this one's coming back. There was a big-time hold on the left guard for Beckley. I'm thinking 71 mans.
And those are drive killers, as George Washington had a big penalty that killed their drive. And we're waiting for the call here.
And that's what it was.
Yep. You're all over that one, partner. And they'll walk the penalty yards, take the ball back across midfield, and put the ball down at their own 48-yard line.
And that's one of those plays, as we saw on the replay, that's one of those blocks where it was away from the ball. The ball was going to the right. And as we see, the ball was well out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it happened like behind the play. So that takes the ball back to the 48-yard line. It'll remain second down. Beckley's got to get to the George Washington 38 for a first down. Price to throw, rolls the pocket, pressure comes, throws short. That's high. And really, George Washington had that defended very well, and it was going to be hard to make that connection.
Well, on the pivot route right there, I think if it's a better throw, it's a completion. You got to be able to set your feet right here on the rollout, and just seems like he's been a little high, a little long and high with his passes, and then this is exactly where Beckley never needs to be offensively.
Yeah, third and long.
Third and forever.
Yeah, and Price 0 for 3 here in passing here in this first quarter, and like you said, all of his 3 incompletions seemed like he got a little much mustard on it, a little high. So it'll bring up third down, and they're going to need probably about 14, 15 yards. The line to gain will be inside the 40 to the GW 38. They got 5 on the play clock. They're going to have to hustle to get the play off. Price takes the shotgun snap in the pocket, throws out. It's high again as he had A.J. Thomas. He had Thomas actually open, and the ball just sails over Thomas's head and incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, 4 great pass plays called, just not able to make the connection here. And a lot of pressure in his face. So that time, that was forced by the pressure in his face. But you got to stick with it. And another good defensive stand. Both teams have had the ball twice and not really being able to muster much, as GW was in the red zone their first series, and it was wiped out by a turnover.
Yeah, so, each team, though, in each of their second possession had a penalty that really took them out of what they wanted to do.
Yeah, Beckley was actually across midfield and got the hold. And
so this probably will be the final play of the first quarter. There's a kick. It's coming to the near sideline. It'll go out of bounds, as that is the horn sounds to end the first quarter.
Probably
Let's see what they'll
23.
mark it at. The referee will walk up, put it down at the 25-yard line. So that's the end of the first quarter. At the end of one, no score between Beckley and George Washington. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on Video Productions.
You're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
every bite better with Pepsi.
Welcome back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. We got the stat genius with us, Chris Farish, cameraman Jackie Moon, producing and directing. We have Matty Belcher and the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eston. So we start the second quarter, Eric. It'll be the third chance on offense for George Washington. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Persinger takes the shotgun snap, hands to Giacomo. Giacomo crosses the 25 and gets a good gain across the 30 out to the 32-yard line and picks up 7 on first down.
And you, as Beckley, you can't give up 7 yards on just a basic toss sweep right here. And Giacomo's able to run through contact and pick up 7.
In watching Giacomo play, to me, Eric, he looks like he's just like a snap from maybe breaking it to the house.
Yeah, you really got to be sound in your tackling, especially open field tackling.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the George Washington Patriots from their own 32-yard line. This is the final week of the regular season. George Washington 7-2, number 9. Beckley 5-4, number 11 in Quad A. 2nd down, Persinger up under center. Will hand the ball to Giacomo. He falls forward. He gets out to the 34-yard line. He'll be a yard short, and it'll be a 3rd and 1 coming up for George Washington.
Looks like a generous spot for Beckley. That's going to be a long one. Closer to 2.
Yeah, actually they do. They put him down at the 33.
Yeah, that. Sometimes you don't know whether they're spotting the knee or the ball, but yeah.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 for George Washington. Persinger up under center, takes the snap, hands the ball off. That will be – the ball's out.
It's out again.
The ball's out, and Beckley says they have it. And the officials, do they say Beckley's got it? I haven't seen him point the Beckley way, but Beckley's going to recover it, and George Washington will fumble it and turn it over for the 2nd time. And Beckley with a golden chance here as they'll have the ball at the George Washington 34-yard line.
And this is, right at the top of the hour as he tried to – I think he was trying to stretch the ball out for the first down without being down, and the ball was out. But if you're Beckley, you have to capitalize on some of these turnovers, especially now. This is a golden opportunity to use your phrase, on the plus side of the field.
Yeah, from the 34, George Washington. GW's had it 3 times. They fumbled twice. Beckley's got it both times. Here's Beckley. They'll run the ball, and that's going to be up inside, and that's going to go nowhere.
That was A.J. Thomas right there. And I think he's more suited getting on the edge.
Well, and I was going to say, in the 2 carries that he's had, there's been nothing there. And actually, they'll spot him for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 for Beckley at the GW 34-yard line. We'll keep you up to date on some other games going on the final week here of the 2024 high school season. 2nd and 10, Beckley at the GW 34. Price up under center. Tight formation, puts a man in motion. That's A.J. Thomas. They'll try to get him to the edge. He tries, Stewart. And Stewart, no running room. And is the ball out? No, but Stewart nowhere to go, and that's no gain. That's one thing, Eric. Both of these teams have interchangeable parts. They have players all with single-digit numbers, and they all look alike.
They do.
Out on the field, don't they? And it's hard to see when they make the handoff. Actually, it's going to go for a yard loss back to the 35.
And you know what? And on this possession, you've had Bryce Ford really rolling early. And, I like you're trying to get other people involved, but I just think maybe on the outside get those guys, get the ball in their hands, and now you're in a pass situation.
Here's 3rd and 11. Price to throw short. It's incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down. And, Eric, right here, you think you got to go for it, but Beckley's right now, their passing game has not been able to connect at all yet tonight.
Yeah, and that was the closest to a completion they could have had, but it was a bang-bang play. The defender, for George Washington was right there to defend that little curl.
So it'll be 3rd down and 11 from the GW 35. Beckley now will spread them out with twin receivers to each side. Price works from the gun.
If you get time, you have man coverage.
Here's the snap. Price to throw, going deep, going for it all home run. That's going to be intercepted, and it could have been. There's a penalty flag that comes in, and Beckley's saying it's against George Washington. I was watching the ball, so I didn't see contact, but the ball was overthrown.
Well, I'm going to see what this is, but it just looks like the 2 George Washington players played the ball. Oh, no, I see a grab. A grab on the receiver is going to be a 15-yarder.
So that will be a penalty against George Washington for passing, or will it? Yep, pass interference, there's the call, 15-yard penalty, and that'll keep the drive alive.
And it was right here. in the middle of the screen, but I thought they were going to call pass interference on the two GW guys battling for the football.
So that'll take the ball down to the 20-yard line, and that was a big play because that was 4th down, and not going for the first down, but going for the home run.
Yeah, but here's where I think you need to get number 22, Bryce
forward as he goes in motion. And they will run the ball, and that's Reeves looking for running room, and he's got a nice gain down inside the 15 to the GW 14.
Well, that looked a little I thought Reeves had bobbled the football there for a second as the second effort got 5 yards on the pickup, and they used Bryce Ford as a lead blocker on that one.
So on the gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. George Washington had the ball inside the 10. Their first time they had it, they fumbled. In fact, GW's fumbled it twice. And Beckley's on it both times, so 2 turnovers for George Washington. Here's a play. They hand the ball and jumping over the pile. Let's see who that was. I think that was Ford, and it was. And he's going to gain a couple from the 14 down to the 12 and bring up 3rd down. They'll put the ball down at the George Washington 12-yard line. They've got to get to the 10 for a first down, so definitely 2 plays to pick up these 2 yards. And right now, the way the game's going is definitely it's benefited Beckley. Taking a lot of time. There's no score. The Beckley's won the war up front for the flow of the game. Beckley's favor. Here's a running play, and that's going to be very close to a first down. And it looks like they're going to get it. They had to go right to the 10, and that's where the ball's at. And that should be enough to move the sticks. Well, that's who is carrying that? Is that Ford again?
No, nope. That was MJ Staples right
on
there on the carry. The thing is, this is what sucks when you get in the red zone. When it's 1st and goal to go at the 10, you can't pick up a first down. Got to punch it in here.
Actually, just inside the 10, and this will be the 7th play of the drive that started on the George Washington 34 after a George Washington fumbled, and Beckley was able to get a 15-yard penalty. It kept this drive alive. Here's a crossbuck misdirection, a big hit, and that's going to go for about a yard or 2. So that will take the ball down. Let's see where they spot him at. Maybe the 7.
Gave him a pickup of 1.
Yep.
Maybe 2.
Get the ball to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, pickup of 1.
So it'll be 2nd and goal. And down here, Eric, you got to think maybe you might try to pass it here on 2nd down. I know Beckley has they have not completed a pass yet, and they got the 1 pass interference in 4 attempts. Price is 0 for 4. He's under center now. George Washington looks like they jumped, and that would be half the distance and take the ball to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, good hard count right there for Beckley, and that's one way to get it a tad closer to scoring.
So GW gets into the neutral zone. And let's see, that might be if it's a 5. I'm not sure if they go on the offsides if it's half the distance or a actual 5-yard penalty, and it is half the distance and take the ball to the 4-yard line. So much more manageable for Beckley on 2nd down for the 4. Now you got to think with the success they've had in running the ball with that big offensive line, they'd be able to run it in.
Yeah, and what I think, though, I think you need a couple of direct handoffs instead of the soft toss right here.
And they'll give it to Ford. Ford behind these blockers, fights for the goal line, and he's in for a touchdown.
Like I said, they needed that soft toss into the line of scrimmage. And that's the guy I think that you needed to get the ball in his hands. And because he really leans his surge, and he's able to push it across.
That is Ford's 5th touchdown of the season. And Beckley takes the lead 6-0 with 6:38 remaining in the first half. That was an 8-play, 34-yard drive that came after a George Washington turnover, their 2nd of the night. And now Beckley trying to tack the 7th point on with Umberger, and it's up, and it is good. So with 6:38 remaining in the first half, your new score is Beckley 7 and George Washington 0. Once again, your scoring recap, an 8-play, 34-yard drive as Bryce Ford, a 2-yard run for the touchdown, his 5th touchdown run of the season. And Beckley leads 7-0 with the point after good. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. And, man, I'd like to have me an ice-cold Pepsi right now in a blue can as Beckley now. And, Eric, Beckley now with the lead. And they've got a break on the 15-yard penalty on a 4th down play.
Yeah.
But when you get the turnover, especially at the 34-yard line, you've got to get points out of it.
You have to capitalize, and that was a big, big break because that was 3rd down. On that.
It was 4th down.
4th down, on that pass play, and bailed out and was able to capitalize. But George Washington still right in this contest, but I really think this is a key moment in this contest. If you're Beckley, if you can find a way to maybe get a 3-and-out and get the ball back and try to add to the lead, or just run out the half, you get the ball to start the second half.
Well, one thing for sure, in the 3 possessions that George Washington's already had the ball, they've moved the ball. They've just turned it over twice.
Yes, they've moved the ball. Actually, they had the most probably team total yards going into that last Beckley drive.
Yeah, they moved the ball. In fact, that first drive, they got the ball all the way down inside the 10. Here's the kickoff return. And it's going to be a nice return as Giacomo will get the ball across the 35 out to the 36-yard line, and George Washington will have it there 1st and 10. But you look at George Washington, that first drive, they got the ball down to the Beckley 8, and they fumbled. Then they had to punt on their second possession, but they had 6 plays, and that 6th one was the punt. But they had a big gainer, but it got called back because of a penalty. And then on their last possession, they fumbled it. So they've got 2 turnovers, and Beckley's got 1 touchdown out of those 2 turnovers.
Yeah, and Beckley able to punch it in, after a big interference call. But GW just has to stay the course. They've really moved the ball from 20 to 20 and just had a couple drive killers.
So here's Persinger up under center, 1st and 10. It's going to be a running play up inside and get the ball about the 38-yard line, and that's going to be Brown on the carry. So it'll bring up 2nd down for George Washington.
Yeah, and picks up about 3 on that carry.
Yep, they get him out to the 39. You're right, a 3-yard pickup. 2nd down, 7 coming up. We're coming up on the 6-minute mark of the first half. GW, this is their 4th chance on offense. They've had a fumble inside the 10. Going in for a score, they fumbled. They had a punt, and then they gave it up, and then that last turnover led to a 34-yard touchdown drive by Beckley, which Bryce Ford capped off with a 2-yard run. Persinger to throw. Pressure comes. Throwing the deep ball. Got a man out there, and it's overthrown. That was a 50-50 ball. More like, I guess you had 2 Beckley defenders, so more like a 60-40 ball as the pass is incomplete. We have a flag down on the play.
It's going to be another ineligible downfield again, I think, on a GW. But if you're Beckley, don't you I would go way downfield.
Yeah, you got a lineman down across the 45.
Yeah, I think he was in a different playbook on that one.
Now, here's an interesting take. Will Beckley take the penalty, or will they take the result of the play?
I think you push him back.
Yeah, because now they'll get the down over if you push him back. And if they take the result of the play, it'll be third down.
Yep, you're right. And the clock stopped, so that uses like a timeout for you.
And
there.
Also, you think, your defense is playing for the biggest part, playing pretty good. If you can get a stop here, like you talked about, you got maybe a little bit of momentum if you can get a 3-and-out right here.
Yeah, 3-and-out and with a chance to maybe make a play on special teams here. But if you're Beckley, they've been known to maybe jump off sides on a hard count or something. You just really have to, if you're on that line of scrimmage, watch this football. And
Persinger takes the snap. Pressure comes, throws, got a man wide open. That's Giacomo, cross midfield, and he plows all the way down to the Beckley 40-yard line. Actually, they'll put him down at the Beckley 41, but that was playing zone, and Giacomo, as we watched the replay, he was wide open.
Yeah, he set right down in the zone, and easy pitch and catch right here.
So a 1st down for George Washington at the Beckley 41-yard line as Persinger to Giacomo. They make the connection.
And once again, Giacomo's in the slot here again at the bottom of the screen.
Here's going to be a running play up inside. It'll go about a couple yards, and that's Flores on the carry. Gets to the Beckley 39. So it'll gain 2 and make it 2nd down and 8 for George Washington. Other scores
update. Right at halftime, 17-17. Martinsburg kicked the field goal right as time expired to tie it up at Hurricane 17-7.
And Hurricane led 17-0 at one point. Martinsburg's come storming back to tie the game at 17. Here's Persinger from the shotgun on 2nd and 8. Takes the snap, sets in the pocket. They throw it out. It's caught. Wide receiver screen. A good open field tackle out there by Beckley, and that was Stewart that makes the tackle. The connection and the run after it, which is very limited yardage, gets the ball down to the Beckley 37-yard line. I beg your pardon. Yeah, it is the Beckley 37.
So a gain of 2. Another big 3rd down here, but you got to believe this is 2-down territory for this George Washington offense here. 4 minutes to go
before halftime. They got 2 timeouts remaining. Persinger works from the shotgun. Takes the snap to throw. Throwing out, got a man out there, and a nice diving catch. Or did he catch it? No, he didn't.
No.
Trying to get the ball to Giacomo. He laid out. And I think the pressure caused that pass to be errant.
Beckley bought some heat right there on that possession, on that particular play. And that's the first time they've really, really gotten even close to the quarterback and got some hands up. And that's what you have to do. You can't give them all day back there to pick you apart.
So it'll be 4th and 6. George Washington will go for it. Clock stops on the incompletion. 4:07 remaining in the half. Such a huge play in the game.
Yeah.
So here it is on 4th and 6. Persinger takes the shotgun snap, sets back, going deep, got a man out there, and it is knocked down.
Great defense.
A beautiful defensive play. That was Clary on the defense.
Yeah, Preston Clary played that perfect. Looked like that was going to be a completion, and right at the end he was able to jump up and bat the ball away, and Beckley has a chance to really try to get some more points on the board here.
So Beckley will take over on downs, have the ball on their own 37-yard line. The Beckley defense has come up big. They forced 2 turnovers. They've turned George Washington over on downs, and they forced a punt.
Yeah, and Persinger throws a beautiful ball. Nice barrel. Just not able to connect right there. And a big turn of events right here for Beckley if they're able. Let's see, someone taking a timeout here.
And let's see, we do have a timeout. Let's see who called that timeout. I haven't seen any indication of who took the timeout. It's an official's timeout. Both teams are going to the sideline. I don't know why they're stopping the play. But while we got a minute, Eric, see if you've got some scores. This is the final night of the regular season. The playoff pairings will come out on Sunday, and we'll know Sunday afternoon, definitely by Monday morning, Eric, where you and I will be and our crew will be next week for the opening round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's a game that we're covering. Video Productions is doing. I think that had Scott up 3-0 on Williamstown.
Yep, there's multiple games of Video Productions carrying tonight like we do every Friday night. Eric, you'll have scores. The last score you gave, Williams Central was up 35-7 on Shady.
Yeah, and I'm going to start in the Quad A ranks right now. You have Huntington up on Lindsley Cadets 17-6. Willing Park 28, John Marshall 12, and Jefferson leading Washington 21-0 at halftime.
There's a running play to Ford, and it only gains a yard or 2. And they'll get him out to the 39-yard line, make it 2nd and 8. Right now, I would think that Beckley would be content to run the ball, Eric, and unless they break one.
But you don't want to go a 3-and-out.
No, you definitely don't want to do that. But Beckley has not had any success throwing the ball outside getting that pass interference on 4th down, which led to their touchdown. But they've had success winning the war up front and running the ball, and I think that's what Beckley would stick to on this drive. Price up under center. Here comes a running play. And that looks like A.J. Thomas. He'll get across the 40 and get the ball out maybe to the 41-yard line, and now brings up a 3rd down.
Okay, I'm going to give you a couple more local scores in between the plays here. Independence hosting Summers County, and they're up 29-0 at halftime. Of course, the game last night, James Monroe beat Bluefield on the road at Bluefield 28-20.
They'll put the ball at the 42-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and 5, a critical 3rd and 5. We're under the 3-minute mark for the first half. 7-0 the Beckley lead. Price up under center, the Beckley quarterback. Maybe long count. They're going to run the ball to Ford. Ford's got some blockers, but he spins. He's going to be close to the first down, but he's not going to get there. And now decision time for Beckley. It's going to be 4th and a good 2 yards.
Yeah, no decision here. You punt it.
Well, you would think, but I'm not sure that's what they're going to do. The ball is out to the 46-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and a yard, and looks like Beckley's going to keep their offense out there as we're coming down to the 2-minute mark of the first half. So 4th and 1 for Beckley on their own 46.
Excuse me, Maris, not to overtalk you. This could be a big play. I think they're just going to go up and give a hard count and try to draw GW. The way your defense is playing, I would punt it away.
Let's see what Beckley does. They have that tight formation. There's 15 on the play clock. I think they're going to run a play, and they do. And it's straight ahead. They're not going to get there. George Washington, I think, has stopped them. George Washington will turn them over on downs. They will not get the first down, and that's a huge play for the George Washington defense.
And as we look at the replay here, just a straight dive, and George Washington was able to get lower and win the battle up front, and big-time stop by Flores, I think that is, the linebacker, came up and really made the initial stop.
So now, Eric, each defense, they're going to measure it, but he looked like he was short of the line to gain as they measure it, and he is short, and George Washington will take over. But, each team now has stopped the other team on a fourth down play, and George Washington will get the ball in Beckley territory, and they'll put the ball down at the Beckley 47-yard line, and that's where George Washington will have this possession, 1st and 10, with 1:41 left in the half and 2 timeouts.
I don't like to play Monday morning or Friday night quarterback, but I think right there, Maris, in that situation, I'm punting because, for one, your punter's gotten 2 great kicks off and really pinned them inside the 30 both times. And this puts a lot of stress on your defense, the way that they pass the ball and running.
Persinger going deep, got a man out there. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. One thing, the Beckley on the back end have played extremely well in this first half.
They have. The first possession was really, really shaky, but they've really bounced back. And what they're doing great is not letting any receiver get deeper than the deepest defender.
Well, Eric, on that first possession, when George Washington was able to go down the field before they turned it over, it's because they were throwing the short hitches or the wide receiver screens. But when they've tried to throw the ball deep, Beckley, the back end of their defense, has really been up to the task.
And I think you're going to get, something
screen set up. Persinger, he delivers the screen pass. Flores, he spins, and that's a minimal gain inside the 45 down to the Beckley 44-yard line and bring up 3rd down.
Well, it was set up. It looked like they had the numbers right there. Beckley really recovered on that one.
So GW not calling a timeout. 1:10 and counting for the half. 3rd down and 7 coming up for GW at the Beckley 44. Persinger takes the shotgun snap. Throws. Got a man out there. And is it caught? It's not. But he had an open receiver, and he short-hopped it to the receiver, which would have been a GW first down. But on the incompletion, it brings up another 4th down play for George Washington. So from the Beckley 44, and now let's see what George Washington looks like. They're not going to chance it. Looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah.
Coming up at halftime, we'll the Massey Power Sports halftime show. We'll recap the first half. We got a halftime guest, Regina Thomas from the Women's Resource Center away. And away is not really a road game. And we'll talk about that at halftime. Here's a booming punt. And Beckley will fair catch it inside the 15-yard line. And with 55 seconds left, Eric, you would think maybe Beckley take a couple of knees and maybe get to the locker room with this 7-0 lead.
Yeah, definitely get in and both teams see who makes the halftime adjustments here. And really the second half, this third quarter, is going to be big. A big possession for Beckley coming out at halftime.
And, Eric, I was surprised, though, even though it was 7 yards, I'm surprised GW really didn't go for it right there.
Yeah, but right there, I think maybe he didn't want to give them, the ball right
where it
right
would have
where
been
it was,
if they didn't make it. So now let's see what Beckley does. If the main thing, you want to hang on to the ball here if you're Beckley, as Price gets up under center on his own 14-yard line. And Beckley trying to protect a 7-0 lead. Ford gets the carry. He goes off the right side. Very minimal gain to the 15, maybe the 16. And really, Beckley, the play clock's at 4. Beckley's just got to take one more play. If I'm Beckley here, Eric, I think I would just take a knee and you go into the locker room, your head's 7-0. Like you said, each team will have to make halftime adjustments.
Make some adjustments. You get the ball to start the second half.
George Washington will take a timeout while we got a second. Eric, see if you got some scores.
Independence is up 29-0 at halftime. Other scores across the state. Princeton 21, Parkersburg South 6 in the second quarter.
And we know Martinsburg and Hurricane tied 17 apiece at the break.
Yeah, and Bridge Fairmont 28, East Fairmont nothing in the second quarter. Nitro 14 on the road at Greenbrier East, 14-0 Nitro. Spring Valley 21, St. Albans 7.
So Beckley out of the timeout will have 2nd down and 8 on their own 16-yard line. Beckley had a good drive going. Their first possession ended in a punt. Their second possession ended in a punt. Their third possession ended in the end zone after they turned George Washington over for the second straight time. And that's been the difference in the game. The 2 George Washington turnovers have led to one Beckley score.
Yeah,
and that's the only score we've had.
And the turnover battle, and we stated that was going to be big, whoever wins the turnover battle. And Beckley able to capitalize on the second of the 2 turnovers by George Washington.
So it'll be, as I mentioned, 2nd down and 8 for Beckley on their own 16-yard line. 33 seconds left in the half. Like I said, we talked about in the Massey Power Sports halftime show to recap. We really don't have a whole lot to recap, do we?
Yeah, not a lot.
In a 7-0 game, like I said, we will have Regina Thomas on at halftime.
It's been a slugfest.
Ford went in motion, and there's a handoff and maybe getting a couple more yards. And GW's got one last timeout. They can take it, and apparently they will. So GW's out of timeout. So really, it'll be 3rd down. Beckley can just take a knee on 3rd down, and GW can't stop it anymore and get into the locker room as George Washington, as I mentioned, takes their final timeout. Well, Eric, next week, the playoffs begin in all 4 classes, and our crew will be somewhere. And right now, it looks like with Independence winning big at the half.
Yeah.
And as they started play tonight, I think they were
4.
4. So there's nothing that makes me think that's going to change.
And they could possibly move up because there's something that's going on right now that could help them. Williamstown, who came in at number 3, is losing to Scott, who Independence beat.
Right.
And that would give Independence a bonus point, and they may be able to jump up as high as 3.
But what I'm going with this, either way, whether they stay 3 or 4, they're going to be at home.
Going to be at home.
And more likely, that's probably where we will be next week. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, we'll know on Sunday when the pairings come out. Of course, if Beckley wins this game and Beckley somehow is able to get in the top 8, we could end up back here next week. We just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
See how it all plays out.
All right, so out of the timeout, like I said, there's GW does not have any more timeouts. And if you're Beckley, you think you would take a knee. You have the ball on their own 18-yard line. It's 3rd down. And the reason I say you take a knee, you don't want to risk on a bad exchange, a fumble, or anything like that. And let's see what Beckley does as Price up under center. And they'll run the ball straight ahead. And that's how the half will end. It'll get out to the 20, but Beckley doesn't have to run another play. It's 4th down. So both teams will make their way to the locker room as Beckley will have a 7-0 lead at the break. And, shows you what a difference a year makes. Last year George Washington had 62 on Beckley. Tonight at halftime they haven't scored. And Beckley, with a little bit of the momentum, goes into the locker room at the break. Your halftime score is Beckley 7, George Washington nothing. We'll take a break, come back, recap. We'll have Regina Thomas on, and we'll do all that on the other side of the break here on Video Productions.
We won't raise your rates just because of an accident. Sure, everyone thinks they're a good driver. But when an accident happens, with Allstate, you don't have to worry, even if it's your fault. It's called accident forgiveness, and it starts the day you sign up. You're in good hands with Allstate. When we think about substance use disorder in our communities, we can use this as an example of how to work together. It may seem small, but in creating this mural, everyone played a role in breaking through stigma and turning this wall into something vibrant and meaningful. This is a huge sign of support, solidarity, and love. When it comes to how we think about recovery, it takes all of us to break through addiction. Learn more at backtolifewv.org.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Let the sunshine in. Get started today with new windows and doors from Window World of Beckley. What better way to do that than our energy-efficient windows and doors for every budget and style? We offer superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price. We offer great financing options too. So why wait? Transfer your home today with Window World of Beckley and let the sun shine in.
My name is Lizzie Hess, and I am a cosmetologist in Teays Valley, West Virginia. The Jumpstart Savings Program is a career savings account, and it just helps to save money so that you can invest in yourself or invest in products that you would need with whatever technical career you're currently in.
The Jumpstart Savings Program is celebrating skilled workers and offers state tax advantages while you save for future expenses.
Having funds to be able to supply anything that I need is awesome.
Find out if a Jumpstart Savings account is right for you. Take the quiz today.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley here at the Massey Power Sports Halftime Show. At the break, the Beckley Flying Eagles lead George Washington 7-0 with Eric Thomas, I'm Maris Lowry, Maddie Belcher producing and directing, along with the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins. We have the stat man, and we'll get stats in just a minute. Chris Ferrish, he's probably won't take him very long, Eric, to put these stats together. And we have Jackie Moon on camera. But, Eric, as we take a look at the drive chart, George Washington took the opening kickoff, and they had a nice drive going. They were able to get the ball down inside the Beckley 10 to the 8, and then they coughed it up as they fumbled the ball. And then Beckley had a nice drive going, and eventually Beckley, they had to punt it away, and then George Washington had a punt, and then basically the scoring drive was led by another George Washington turnover as George Washington turned it over for the second time, a fumble. Beckley got the ball to GW 38, and on 4th and 10, Beckley going for the home run pass. There was pass interference, put the ball at the 20, and then Beckley able to get Bryce Ford in on a 2-yard run, extra point good, and 7-0. But Beckley has stopped George Washington on downs, and a big play for the George Washington defense, also stopping Beckley on downs. But at the break, 7-0. Still seemed like Beckley had outplayed him, my take, but still anybody's game in the second half.
Yeah, definitely still anyone's game right now. And other than the first drive where GW seemed like they had it scripted perfect and ran their offense, got down into the red zone and fumbled it, which ended up being a big play for Beckley as that momentum shifted back. Even Beckley wasn't able to capitalize on it. They were able to flip the field position. And right now, the total yards, we'll go over that, but the total yards showed GW, of course, with a few more yards. But I think the game has been a slugfest, and it's the kind of game that's very winnable for Beckley. And you would think at halftime that GW is going to try to really spread it out, and they can't afford to go down 14-0, I don't think.
We'll give you those numbers just in a minute. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company, they offer no premium, no deductible health insurance. They also offer dental and vision coverage, and they have a company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. Also, the game tonight also brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm agent Scotty Brown, 681-238-6130. All right, Eric, you have the numbers of the first half.
Okay, the numbers go as this. The number on the scoreboard is the one that matters right now, and that's Beckley up 7-0. Total yards for George Washington is at 115. They have 75 through the air, and right on Persinger is right at his normal. He was about a 50% passer coming into the game, and he is 5 of 10 for 75 yards. One big play going to Giacomo, who has 2 receptions for 58 yards to lead GW in receiving. The ground game is harnessed 40 yards for George Washington. The leading rusher is Flores on the ground for 3 carries for 21 yards. On the flip side, Beckley has 83 yards of total offense. They passed the ball 5 times, 0 for 5 through the air for 0 net yards, 83 on the ground, led by Bryce Ford, 10 carries and 43 yards on the evening.
And the game's only touchdown.
And the game's only score.
7-0 the halftime lead. We'll take a break. When we come back, Regina Thomas will be our halftime guest, and we'll do it on the other side of the break here on Video Productions.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
When you're about to go on the most important journey, it matters who you choose to start it with. From your very first prenatal appointment, Access Health's dedicated team is here to support you with the latest technology and personalized care. Preparing for your little one's arrival is a special time. And when the big day arrives, you can be confident knowing you have the same team to guide and support you. Access Health, your partner in health every step of the way.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Done.
It's that easy with compliance. Compliance. We've got your back office.
Don't drop the ball. Come see your hometown legends at the all-new Greenbrier Ford in Beckley. We won't be beat.
When you're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
With the right support and care, a seed can grow into a resilient plant. Recovery takes patience, intention, and a willingness to listen. Every path is different, and every story of substance use is an opportunity for transformation. When it comes to growing and restoring our communities, we need everyone to break through addiction. Learn more at backtolifewv.org.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium here at the Massey Power Sports Halftime Show. At the break, Beckley leads George Washington 7-0, and I have my partner's better half deal with Eric Thomas. Now we have his wife Regina on, and Regina is part of the away organization. And ladies and gentlemen, she's going to explain to you what away means, because I would always say away means a road game, but we know that doesn't, Regina. So actually, what is away?
Yes, away means advocating a way for adults and youth. So anyone who's been victimized by domestic or sexual violence, they can, contact our agency. All of our services are free and confidential. We service Raleigh, Fayette, Nicholas, and Summers counties. We have a shelter here in Raleigh County. So, again, if you've been victimized by either domestic or sexual violence, we got you.
And Regina, unfortunately, that happens way too much in our country and locally and everywhere, and that's why it's so important for the work that you and your people do.
Oh, for sure. Statistically, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men are victimized by domestic violence. And just in the year of 2023, from January 1st to December 31st of 2023, we advocated for over 1,200 victims. We answered over 1,500 crisis hotlines. We had over 2,000 nights in our shelter. So this is something that is happening in our backyard. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share about the information, because bringing about awareness and letting people know about it, they can contact us at our hotline, 304-255-2559, or on our website, awaywv.org. Again, we are there 24/7, 365, and we're there to help you.
And one of the great things that you and your organization did, you just had a very successful event in the Beckley area. Talk about that.
Oh, yes. We had our 3rd annual Purple Halo Gala. It was the Havana Night theme, and I'm telling you, it was such a heartfelt night that night. Just the people that came together to come to this event. The community was great, donating different things for our silent auction. We were at capacity. So it was a really great fundraiser. And again, it allowed us the opportunity to, provide awareness to the community. And then we had Marie Beckley, who was our Purple Halo Gala recipient, which was, she's a wonderful lady and a huge ally and an ambassador for our organization. So it was great.
And Regina, unfortunately, I was not able to make it. Maddie and I were working basketball that night. That's right, basketball. So neither her or I were able to make it. So if I could have went, you would have had capacity +1. If Maddie could have made it, you'd had a capacity +2.
Oh, for sure. And there were several people who were at the elementary basketball game that was so disappointed because they had to miss it this year. So, we're excited about our one coming up next year, the fourth annual.
Yep.
Thank you. Fourth annual Purple Halo Gala, and it'll be like the third Thursday in October. So we're super excited about, looking forward to next year.
Well, Regina, I always want you to have a job, but if you can clean up all this domestic violence, maybe you wouldn't have a job. We want you to have it, but we don't want domestic violence carrying on as much. We don't want it carrying on at all, but it's something that really needs to be addressed.
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I would love to work myself out of a job, but again, unfortunately, with the stats that I shared, 1 in 4 women, 1 in 9 men, it's something that's not going to be eradicated anytime soon. So that's why our organization is there, again, 24/7. That's there if you need to call. We help you with domestic violence petitions, personal safety orders, just all things of that nature.
Well, you got a lot of things going on in your family. You got Eric here on the mic with me. As we're talking, you have your daughter down there participating with the Lassies. You also have relatives on each team, one for George Washington, one for Beckley. You got a real Thomas family affair here tonight.
We do. It's pretty exciting. Those Thomases that you just never know where you're going to run into one. It could be in Charleston. It could be in Winchester, Virginia. You just never know.
Well, Regina, we appreciate you taking the time to come up and talk about something as important as domestic violence with the away and continue up the good work.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time, Maris.
Thank you very much. We'll take a break and get you ready for the second half. Beckley with the 7-0 lead over George Washington. We'll take our Massey Power Sports halftime break and be right back right after this on Video Productions.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Compliance helped me lose 50 pounds by freeing up tasks like payroll, HR, and bookkeeping. I'm now free to do what I want.
With compliance, you can do what you want to do. Compliance, we've got your back office.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC. We are professional grade.
My name is Micah Daniels from Huntington, West Virginia. I'm at Bridge Valley and I'm working on earning an associate's degree in manufacturing. Jumpstart is a career savings program for skilled workers. You know, with blue-collar work, you always need money for tools. So with that Jumpstart program, I can rest easy. New sets of tools need to be bought. I'm good.
The Jumpstart Savings Program is celebrating skilled workers and offers state tax advantages while you save for future expenses. Find out if a Jumpstart Savings account is right for you. Take the quiz today.
It's 4th down, seconds on the clock. He hands it off, finds a hole in the middle. Clear, nothing but Brian moves! A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. The Flying Eagles lead George Washington 7-0. Our halftime continuing. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Edward Jones. Heather Cantley, your financial advisor. You can plan for retirement by opening a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. And you worked hard for your money. Let your money work hard for you. You can dial up Heather Cantley, your local Edward Jones financial advisor, 681-254-0097. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Leisure Lanes, Johnstown Road in Beckley. And Eric, it's hard to believe I'm saying prepare for the New Year's Eve Rock and Bowl, but it'll be here before you know it on New Year's Eve. And, you know, you and I had an opportunity to do that a couple different times, and I'll tell you, it's really worth it on New Year's Eve from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., and it's you prepay by December the 27th. For all the information of the cost, reservations, call Leisure Lanes at 304-253-7328. That's Rock and Bowl New Year's Eve at Leisure Lanes. Well, Eric, if you were eavesdropping in the George Washington locker room, what might you have heard?
Cut back the mistakes. I mean, the game is right here for the taking. If you're George Washington, you really had you led in total yards in the first half. Neither team really burned it up offensively, but George Washington has to cut. Can't afford any more turnovers the rest of the contest.
And if you're in the Beckley locker room, you may have heard what?
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, you got the momentum. We got them in a rock fight right now, and this is where we wanted to keep the game. I think if we come out this third possession and really punch them in the mouth, this is Beckley. I'm being the Beckley coach. Really punch them in the mouth, go up 14-0. You have a chance to really, really play defense, your style of defense.
And, you know, right now Beckley leading 7-0, and Beckley yet to complete a pass in this game, but a pass interference what helped lead to the first and only Beckley touchdown.
Yeah, and it was a big 4th down call, and it was pass interference, so not a questionable call at all. And Beckley was fortunate to turn that into a 7-point lead.
Well, Beckley's back out on the field, and so is George Washington. We'll take one more commercial break and get you ready for the second half coming up next on Video Productions.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Don't drop the ball. Come see your hometown legends at the all-new Greenbrier Ford in Beckley. We won't be beat.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Let the sunshine in. Get started today with new windows and doors from Window World of Beckley. What better way to do that than our energy-efficient windows and doors for every budget and style? We offer superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price. We offer great financing options too. So why wait? Transfer your home today with Window World of Beckley and let the sun shine in.
We won't raise your rates just because of an accident. Sure, everyone thinks they're a good driver. But when an accident happens, With Allstate, you don't have to worry, even if it's your fault. It's called accident forgiveness, and it starts the day you sign up. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Unlock the money already in your home at City National Bank. Consolidate loans or fund your next big project with a home equity line of credit with a great low intro rate. Visit your local branch to get started. City National Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Learn more at homeequity.bankatcity.com.
When you're in need of a plumber, you want someone that's going to treat you like family. Modley's Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business since 1987, wants you to know our customers and employees are as important as family. Built by family to families, quality work is our hallmark at Modley's Plumbing and Heating. So the next time you're in need of a plumber, give Modley's Plumbing and Heating a call at 304-253-HELP. Help to Modley's means handling every little problem.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our new Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
My name is Lizzie Hess, and I am a cosmetologist in Teays Valley, West Virginia. The Jumpstart Savings Program is a career savings account, and it just helps to save money so that you can invest in yourself or invest in products that you would need with whatever technical career you're currently in.
The Jumpstart Savings Program is celebrating skilled workers and offers state tax advantages while you save for future expenses.
Having funds to be able to supply anything that I need is awesome.
Find out if a Jumpstart Savings account is right for you. Take the quiz today.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. The Flying Eagles will get the ball to start the second half. And, Eric, in the first half, Beckley had 2 punts, a touchdown, turned it over on downs, and then they had the half. So they'll have first crack at it here to start half number 2.
Yeah, and I'm anxious to see how GW plays this opening kickoff. They usually have a great kicker as well. They have a good soccer program, and they may try to put this one in the end zone here.
So the ball is teed up halfway right there in the middle between the hashes, between the two 40s, and we're ready to get the second half underway. Beckley leading 7-0. George Washington turned the ball over twice in the first half, and one of those turnovers led to a Beckley touchdown. Also, that touchdown drive was aided by a big 15-yard pass interference penalty. And here comes the second half kickoff, and it will be deep. It'll return on the far side at the 15. And nice return up across the 30 and down to the 32-yard line. And that will be M.J. Staples on the return. And that's where Beckley will have it. 1st and 10. And let's see, I think it will be A.J. Thomas, I beg your pardon, on the 32-yard line.
And you know what I liked about that return? He took what the kick return team gave him. He didn't really, try to dance around back there. Just try to get some positive yards and scrimmage at from the 31? 32.
Yeah, Staples wears 3, A.J. Thomas wears 5, and they're kind of built alike, and it was hard to see. So we got it right as A.J. Thomas. Nevertheless, Beckley will have it 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line. Price up under center. They hand the ball to Ford. Ford looking for running room and not much there. A yard or 2 as he's able that extra effort. Maybe get him 3 yards out to the 35. Didn't look like there was nothing there at all.
Yeah, and that was one thing I spoke upon in the first half, what he does, Bryce Ford, keeps those legs driving, and he's really a lineman's best friend because all you need to do is give him a little crease, and he's able to pick up positive yards.
Yeah, he gets 3 on first down. In fact, Bryce Ford entered the game tonight, the team's leading rusher at 764 yards. He rushed for his 5th touchdown of the year tonight when he scored the game's only touchdown back in the first half. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Beckley on their own 35-yard line. Gage Price up under center. It's going to be another running play. And this is not going to go for nothing. George Washington able to shut that play down, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
And that one looked like it developed a tad slow. It looked like it was going a running lane there for Stewart, and Stewart not able to punch it up in there. And that's one thing you have to do when the hole was presented to you. You have to really get up in there, and Stewart not able to take advantage of the crease.
Yeah, you would think this is a passing down. Beckley has not been able to connect on a pass yet. Price is 0 for 5, and it's 3rd and 7 here on their own 35-yard line. So let's see what Beckley will dial up. This is the first possession of the second half. We got 4 on the play clock. Beckley's going to have to hustle. And I'm not sure they're going to get the playoff, and they don't. And that's going to cost them 5. They don't get the playoff unless they got a timeout. And I'm looking for a flag. I don't see a flag.
There are flags in the defensive backfield, right on the eagle.
Okay, there you go. So now I see it. And as I was saying, they snapped the ball. The referees are right. That was delay of game because the snap did not beat the clock getting to 0. So that'll cost Beckley 5, and that's a big mistake right there.
And that's one of those you can't have. Now it puts it 3rd and 11, and definitely a passing down. And you don't want to, throw it into traffic and give a turnover here either. So
Beckley behind the chains here at 3rd and 11 after that 5-yard penalty takes the ball back to the 30-yard line.
See, and that's one of those scenarios when I told you that, Beckley cleaned up the penalties, but when they do get one, it's at the worst time possible in the game scenario, and that's just a bad penalty right there.
Well, we're up to 8 seconds on the play clock now. Price up under center. Pat going back to pass, sets in the pocket, throws across the middle, and it's almost intercepted. And that was really lucky it wasn't intercepted because George Washington had double coverage trying to get the ball to A.J. Thomas.
Yeah, that time forced it into double coverage right here to A.J., and I think the crossing route or the route that ran parallel to A.J.'s was wide open.
So it'll bring up 4th down. Beckley a 3 and out. And we saw the replay there.
Yeah, the big time defensive stand right there for George Washington because Beckley didn't even get a chance to, get a first down and try to at least flip the field. They're going to get the ball around the 45, 50 maybe.
Yeah, Brown is back to receive this punt, and he's going to let it hit and
Wow.
take a huge Beckley bounce all the way inside the 25 and roll right down to the 21-yard line. And Brown never attempted to field it for George Washington, and he just let the ball hit. And George Washington, by Brown letting it hit, Eric, probably gave up 25 yards of field position. Yes. So Beckley goes 3 and out, but they get a good punt and a good roll in the punt. George Washington will take over 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line. So this is George Washington's first possession of the second half. 1st and 10 on their own 21. Let's see if George Washington is coming up with any adjustments that they may have made at halftime. They'll work from the shotgun. Here's the snap. It's a direct snap. Flores runs, crosses the 25, has a first down, crosses the 30, gets to the outside, and they drag him down near the 40-yard line, and a big play for George Washington on their first play of the second half.
And that's right off the bat, and that's enough to infuse some excitement into this George Washington offense because you get a big gainer. You gained what you gave back up off the punt, not fielding the punt. So what they get up around the 39-yard line. So
yep, that'll be an 18-yard gain on GW's first play of scrimmage in the second half.
Biggest run of the contest.
So 1st and 10, George Washington from their own 39-yard line. It's a running play to Flores all the way. He'll get the ball across the 40. They'll move the pile maybe to the 41, maybe even the 42. And it's a nice gain on first down.
And that was just a great cut by Flores right there. As a initial penetration by Beckley looked like it had it snuffed out, and he was able to put his foot in the ground and cut back and pick up positive 3.
Yeah, got 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7. Persinger, the quarterback, looks across the way, maybe getting the play in. George Washington comes in at number 9. To have any hope at all of hosting next week, they need to win this game. Here's Persinger to throw, throws in the flat. They make the connection. Here's Brown trying to turn it up, and he takes a big hit, breaks a tackle. He's not done yet, and he gets a first down. What great individual effort that time by Brown, and a first down for George Washington.
Yeah, and that was just, he was wanting it more than Beckley right there because the initial, as we see here on the replay, you have 4 guys converge, Bryce, MJ Staples, Reeves. I mean, that is just, you can't have that happen, and that moves the chains.
Yeah, gets the ball at the midfield. Brown took a shot and bounced off that and then able to get more yardage and pick up the first down.
Well, the oldest thing in the book is what? Tackling. You have to be able to tackle. It's tackle football. Wrap them up.
So Persinger from the shotgun. 1st and 10 at midfield for George Washington. Persinger takes the snap. They'll throw it short. That's Giacomo, makes the catch, and not much there as he falls forward for a couple.
That's the best that's been defended. So it looks like a few adjustments made at halftime on that for Beckley.
And I think if you're Beckley, you have to watch out for the pump and go. Pump and then send Giacomo deep.
But your safeties have to play sound, not rally to the football so fast, and that's going to be – on A.J. Thomas right there to not bite, take a bad angle because you're exactly right. That could happen.
So they gain 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for George Washington at the Beckley 48. It's going to be a running play, and Beckley up to the task because that time nowhere for Brown to go.
Bryce Ford on the tackle.
And the loss back to the original line of scrimmage, back to midfield, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, good sound linebacker right there because he saw football and went and got it. And good play by Bryce Ford.
Yeah, Eric, I think George Washington's got to pick up at least 6, maybe 7 yards if to think about going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you're right. Look for them to try to get that ball to Giacomo right here. Looks like he's got man coverage right here. See where the safety's walked up a little bit, and this is definitely man coverage.
Persinger takes the snap, throwing deep, and he overshot his man. He was there, and you called it, Eric. Giacomo had the inside position, and he beat the defender, and if had that ball been put on him, he would have been walking into the end zone.
Yeah, they got the good route concept right there, and just a bad pass here. Love to have this one back. Wide open.
Yeah,
if you put it on the money right there.
It's touchdown.
He waltzes in the end zone.
So after George Washington able to get the ball to midfield, that's where the drive stalls, and it'll be 4th down. They did get it to the Beckley 48, but eventually lost a couple yards from midfield. Here's the 4th down punt. And now it's just a battle of field position.
They need to get away from it.
And the ball will take a George Washington bounce and roll inside the 25, and they'll put the ball down at the 23-yard line. That's where Beckley will take over their 2nd possession of the 2nd half on their own 23-yard line.
So both teams not able to muster up anything.
So it'll be Beckley's 2nd chance on offense here in the 2nd half. We've only got 1 touchdown in the game, and actually it's amazing, Eric, because I don't think anybody thought this. We've had more turnovers, 2 by George Washington, than we've had touchdowns, which is Beckley the 1 touchdown, and, of course, the extra point, and that's what's given Beckley the 7-0 lead. So from their own 23-yard line, last time Beckley had the ball, they went 3 and out. Price up under center, puts a man in motion. They're going to run the ball. And trying to get the ball off to the edge. That's a nice run and going to be a 1st down. And I think that's Connor Ray on the carry. Get the ball across the 35 for a Beckley 1st down. We watched the replay there. Good hard run. And with the 1st down, the ball out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that was was that Connor Ray?
Connor Ray,
and I think that's probably his only 3rd touch of the game, 1st carry of the game. And you said coming into this game that he was the 1-2 punch with Ford.
Yeah, he's their 2nd leading rusher, and that's his 1st carry of the night. 1st and 10, Beckley on their own 36-yard line. They'll run the ball again, get the ball out to about the 38, maybe 39-yard line as they unpile them.
And it looks like on this drive the offensive line for Beckley is firing off the ball a little bit. They may have lit a fire under behind after that 1st possession.
They get 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. But what this does, Eric, it's using a lot of clock. We're already under 6 minutes for the 3rd. And, with the way Beckley's run the ball, even if they don't score and they flip the field, they're taking a lot of time off the clock. That puts a lot of pressure on George Washington to try to really have to score when they get the ball.
To do something to quick.
So from their own 39 on 2nd down, here's Beckley. It'll be a running play. Get the ball across the 40, maybe to the 41. Not much running room there. And brings up a very critical 3rd down play.
Yeah, and that's going to be 3rd and about a 5. 3rd and 5 here.
Let's say they put the ball down at the 41, maybe 42-yard line. And you got to get the ball out to the 46, so it'll be 4th and 4. I beg your pardon, 3rd and 4. 3rd down and 4. And I got to believe that if you don't get the 1st down here, you have to punt if you're back.
Oh, definitely. You have to flip the field back and let your defense do what it's doing. Defend them pretty well.
Beckley has yet to complete a pass tonight. Here's Price. They'll hand the ball, kind of a little double reverse inside, and that will go to Connor Ray, and that'll come up short. And I think, Beckley, you're going to have to punt here because it's going to be 4th and a good 2 yards.
Wow, that hole opened up, and it was pretty close to breaking for the 1st down. Good way to close the hole up real quick. I didn't see the defender for GW, and this is definitely going to be a punt.
Yeah, because you're going to need almost 3 yards to pick this up. I would think this is no question you punt here because, like you said, their defense has been playing well.
Yeah.
You flip the field, and if you're George Washington, you have to be disciplined and you don't jump off sides.
Well, I see something here this could be a fake because they have the backup quarterback in at the up back.
Here's the snap. Here comes the punt. Pretty good kick. And once again, Brown will get away from it, and the ball will roll inside the 30, and GW will take over there at the 29-yard line. So Beckley's first 2 possessions of the second half both result in punts, and George Washington will take over on their own 29 with the 1st and 10. And Eric, let's see if you've got some more updates. I know the last time that we checked between Hurricane and Martinsburg, actually going to put the ball at the 30. The game was tied at 17 at halftime.
Yeah, and Martinsburg had to be pleased after falling behind. Oh, wow. What do you think the score is?
Probably Martinsburg's probably up by 2 scores.
Yeah, Martinsburg 31, Hurricane 17 in the third quarter.
Wow, 31 unanswered points by Martinsburg. Here's Persinger, takes the snap, throws the ball. It's deflected and almost intercepted. That was almost picked, and, man, that would have been a touchdown for Beckley.
Yeah.
Yes, what a nice defensive play that was. And let's see who that was for Beckley that got his hand on the ball.
I think that was Connor Ray maybe.
No, I think it was the lineman. I think you're right. It was Connor Ray that tipped it up, and
yes,
one of the linemen
almost
hauled it in.
Yeah, almost had him a pick 6.
So 2nd down and 10 for George Washington on their own 30-yard line.
Wow, that could have been a big turning point in this game.
Here's Persinger, takes the snap. Pressure comes. He throws. It's caught for about a 6-yard gain. And hauling in the catch that time is Farrell. And Farrell's been kind of quiet. You know, he's averaging 20 yards a catch. He scored 7 touchdowns. But I think that's the first time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, and you just have to keep these defensive backs for Beckley have really tackled well in space. You know, they're going to complete some passes, but they're not giving up a lot of yards after the catch.
Beckley jumps on sides, and they give him a first down. It was 3rd and 4, and Beckley jumps into the neutral zone, and that will be a first down for George Washington. They'll mark this penalty off and be 1st and 10 George Washington. That's such a critical penalty on 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and that's just – you can't have it in a closely contested game. You know, just line up and watch the ball. It always amazes me that the hard count gets guys that are right beside the football.
So the ball is moved out to the 41-yard line on the penalty. It was 3rd and 4. The penalty with 5 gives them a first down.
Yeah, let's circle that one.
Yep.
That was at the, 3:16
mark of the 3rd quarter. What a big play. 1st and 10, George Washington.
Back-to-back plays. Almost turn them over with an interception, then give them a first down after the –
Persinger to throw, going deep, got a man out there, and it's going to be a pass interference.
Easy one to call.
And actually, it's probably better that it's a pass interference than call it on Stewart, because if Stewart doesn't commit the interference, that could be a touchdown. Maybe.
Yeah, the first time that Stewart got beat deep, that was a stop and go, and this is probably the best thrown ball of the night for Persinger. And you're right. I would live with that pass interference, but see, back-to-back, that's 20 yards in penalties on back-to-back plays.
And, of course, the big one was jumping off sides on 3rd and 4 to give them a first down. And now with the penalty yardage, they'll take the ball across midfield, and they'll put the ball down at the Beckley 44-yard line. So a new package of downs for George Washington from the Beckley side of the field at the 44. Persinger to throw. Steps up in the pocket, going deep, one-on-one coverage out there, and it's incomplete.
He caught it, but he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds. And that's one thing we talked about. George Washington has been trying to hit Beckley deep, and they've had a couple of chances, but more times than not, Eric, the back end, and we said this before, the back end of the Beckley defense has played really well.
Yeah, and Stewart does a good job of pressing him towards the sideline here, and this is a good no call as he pulls his hands back and states that the receiver was out of bounds, as you see on the instant replay there.
So 3:03 for the 3rd. The clock stops on the incompletion, 2nd and 10. Persinger perhaps changing the plays. He looks across the way. Maybe they're signaling in a new play.
But this formation right here, it singles you up in man coverage because the safety has to shade to the strong side of the field.
Persinger to throw. They make the connection, and very close to a first down. He run out of bounds over there is Farrell. And like I said, we hadn't mentioned his name in the first half. He came in, like I said, he's averaging 51 yards a game and averaging 20 yards a catch and scored 7 touchdowns.
Yeah,
he hauls that one in, and he got about 9 on the play.
I think you're going to see the direct snap here, right here to Flores, or that's been their bread and butter on 3rd and short.
3rd and 1 from the Beckley 35. They got 2 downs to pick it up. Farrell, he got out of bounds to stop the clock. So 3rd and 1. Persinger works from under center. They'll run the ball straight ahead. It'll be a first down. They move the pile down inside the 30, down to the Beckley 29. So a new package of downs for George Washington. 1st and 10 at the Beckley 29.
Those I'm feeling on this drive, those 2 penalties are really going to come back to haunt Beckley on this particular drive.
Actually going to put the ball down right at the 30. And actually for George Washington, Eric, this is their deepest penetration since their first drive in which they turned the ball over inside the 10. Persinger takes the shotgun snap, looks, throws, far side, and it's overthrown everybody as, once again, really good coverage and just sailed the ball over the intended receiver's head.
And we see what the halftime adjustment was here, that they're going to air it out. This is probably about the 7th pass on this possession.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the Beckley 30-yard line.
Going to give you a quick score on the Princeton-Parkersburg South game. Parkersburg South has cut the lead to 27-28.
Here's a running play. That's good yardage. Flores, he's got a first down and more. He spins. He's down inside the 15. He gets all the way down to the 11-yard line on a big run, and that's a 19-yard gain for Flores and a first down for George Washington.
And I got a final score out of the Shady Spring contest. Wheeling Central's come on the road and beat Shady 48-7.
Wow. So Shady will finish 7-3. They'll make the playoffs, but they'll have to go on the road. 1st and 10 from the 11 for George Washington. Flores gets the handoff. He spins his way. He gets down near the 5, and maybe right there at the 5 is where they put him down at.
A good cutback once again by Flores. And this GW offense has found something after the near interception. Then they completed a pass and 2 penalties back-to-back. Really got them cooking with gas now in the red zone.
So from the 5, 4 yards for a first down, 5 yards for the touchdown. Flores, they call his number again. He's up inside. He gets down to about maybe the 3-yard line. It's tough sledding when you get down now toward the goal line.
And it looks like they're able to pick up a first down.
Well, they can get a first down at the 1, right? Like
yes.
I said, they had 5 for the touchdown, 4 for the first down. They'll put the ball down, looks to be at the 4-yard line. They'll give him 1, so they can still get a first down, like I said, at the 1. So from the 4, 3 gets them a first down, 4 gets them the touchdown. Coming up on 1 minute for the 3rd. Persinger up under center on 3rd down. It's a running play. Trying to go to the edge, cuts it back inside, gets to the goal line, and looks like he's into the end zone for a touchdown, and that's it, a touchdown by Brown.
Yes,
Brown gets into the end zone. Savon Brown, a 4-yard touchdown run. That was a 10-play, 70-yard drive. And was helped out on a penalty with Beckley jumping off sides on 3rd and 4. And George Washington now a extra point away from tying the game.
And just like that, it seems like the old momentum has shifted, and it's going to be a tie ball game if the extra point is complete. Looks like a false start.
Yep, there's a flag on the play, and I think you're right, Eric. It was a high snap. And looked like that whole extra point attempt was discombobulated from the beginning.
Yeah, that was the kicker started towards the line of scrimmage to kick the ball, and the ball hadn't yet been snapped.
But George Washington, like I said, a 10-play, 70-yard drive, and they're in the end zone with a 4-yard touchdown run by Brown.
Well, it looks like they're calling it on Beckley.
Let's see. And if they do call it on Beckley, and they move the ball up, which that's the case, Eric, offsides Beckley.
Yes.
Another critical penalty. George Washington may go for 2 and the lead here. So Beckley with 2 critical offside penalties on this drive.
3 big ones on the drive total.
Yeah, well, they had 2 offsides and a pass interference, but the offside penalties are, like I said, 3rd and 4, you jump offsides, and now George Washington will go for 2 as the offside penalty on the conversion. So now GW goes for 2 and the lead.
But also, though, if you're Beckley, if you're able to turn them away, that can give you that momentum here.
Persinger up under center, running play, and I can't see yet, and he did not make it, shy of the goal line. So Beckley's defense comes up big, and they keep GW out of the end zone on the 2-point conversion. So with 59 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter, your new score is Beckley 7, George Washington 6. But George Washington had a 10-play, 70-yard drive that ended with a 4-yard touchdown run by Brown. They go for 2. They don't get it. Your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. Love to have me a nice blue can of Pepsi. So with 59 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, Eric, now if you're GW, you know that you've got to score one more time, either by a field goal or by a touchdown if you can hold Beckley.
So right now, though, doesn't it feel like a loss to you, right, if you're GW, because you were not able to punch that in, and that gives a little shot in the arm to the Beckley offense to know that you're still up in the game, and all you need to do really is to go down and score. If you can punch it in, that'll put them in another go-for-2 situation.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that it looked like GW was gaining the momentum, and it looked like Beckley may have gotten some of the momentum back with that stop for the 2-point play. So 7-6 is the lead as George Washington is set to kick it off. And Eric, another thing too, with the way that how fast this third quarter has flown by, and Beckley running, able to eat up a lot of clock, that you think, how many more chances are you going to get?
Yeah, but if you're GW, you have something to lean on, because that last possession by that's the pit.
Here's the
kick
kickoff.
to the up back.
Hold that thought. Here's Beckley trying to return the kickoff. Now have excellent field position as they get out to the 45-yard line.
That was Preston Clary right there on making a play. And but what I would go back to my what I was about to say is the Beckley offense definitely has to get a couple of first downs here. I mean, you need to string something together, because it seems like GW, you had a couple of things going, but GW has pretty much shut it down here in the third quarter.
Yeah, the last 2 possessions that Beckley had the ball here in the second half, they went 3 and out, and then they had a 4 plays and then punted. So they have the ball on their own 45-yard line to start this possession with 50 seconds left in the third, and they lead by 1, 7-6. Price puts Ford in motion. They'll pitch it to Ford. He'll run up the gut. He'll get about a yard or 2. But at some point, Eric, I really believe, even though Beckley has not completed a pass tonight, at some point in this game, I think they're going to have to complete a pass.
Yeah, definitely going to have to pick up maybe, at least a 5-yard completion. You need something down and out towards your sideline, something to get the quarterback's confidence. I think the 5 passes that he threw in the first half, Maris, 4 of the 5 were wide open receivers.
So they'll pick up 2 on the play, and actually Beckley doesn't have to run another play. They can just let this third quarter clock run out, and I think that's what they're going to do. And I think if you're Beckley, it's a smart thing to do, because you want to shrink the game. And so that will be the end of the third quarter. So at the end of 3, Beckley maintains a 1-point lead. It's Beckley 7, George Washington 6. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this on Video Productions.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
The most mouth-watering showdown on television. The Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off. Right here at your local Little General store. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Matty Belcher and the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing. We have Chris Ferris, the stat man, with us. Jackie Moon on camera. Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. Eric will go to the fourth quarter. Beckley will have it 2nd and 8 on their own 47-yard line. Price puts a man in motion. They'll pitch it to him. Cross midfield into George Washington territory. That looks like that's Connor Ray. Or no, beg your pardon, that's Bryce Ford. And Ford will have a Beckley first down at the GW 41.
And great blocking up front by the bigs from Beckley that was the second longest run of the evening for Beckley, as Connor Ray has the longest.
Yeah, Ray had the longest. That was Bryce Ford on that one. And a new package down for Beckley at the GW 41-yard line. This drive started back on their own 45. We've just started the fourth quarter. Beckley hanging on to a 1-point lead. Trying to get them an insurance score here from the GW 41. They fumble the ball. The ball's loose, And I think Price able to get back on it as he's not able to handle the center exchange, and it'll cost Beckley a couple of yards, but that's better than costing him the ball.
Yeah, but that also puts him in a 2nd and long, 2nd and 13, and this offense is just not 2nd and 12, excuse me, but it's just not – this is not the type of offense. They need to play ahead of the chains right now, and that's going to be – that's one of those plays that you just need to execute, down and distance, and we'll see if Beckley can get it back here.
And, Eric, that's why I say at some point tonight Beckley's going to have to complete a pass.
Definitely. I 100% agree with that.
So on 2nd down, 2nd and 12 from the GW 43. Price, this gets the ball to Connor Ray. Ray bumbles and stumbles his way to just shy of the 40, back to the original line of scrimmage to the 41, and now it brings up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and 3rd and 10, and this is definitely 2-down territory, and see some guys for Beckley getting up slow in those trenches, man. It's been a battle up front, both of these teams going at it. But this, you at least have to pick up 5-6 yards here on this play.
And I think Beckley may put it up here. Let's see what they do.
Well, if you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, here we go with a timeout here.
And Beckley's going to take a timeout. So if they're taking a timeout, they're discussing, you're right, they're discussing, I'm sure, the play that they want to use here, because if you're going to throw and you don't pick up any yards, are you going to punt? You probably would punt if it's 4th and 10.
Yeah, if you throw and don't get any yards here, you punt it, try to pin them back, and play some good defense, and then hopefully you can flip the field that way and maybe force them to punt and try to play ball control a little bit.
And if you're thinking here, maybe we can try to hit a little pass in the flat and try to get at least, like you said, 5 or 6 yards to make it very manageable to go for it on 4th down.
Or pick up another PI. Another pass in
I think if you throw the ball deep hoping to get a PI,
yeah.
I don't know that I think you'd want to think, look, we haven't had a quarterback that hadn't completed a pass yet. We want to maybe get him out in the open where he can make an easy throw and at least pick up 5 or 6 yards.
Roll the pocket a little bit and try to get it where he can put pressure on the DB to have to come up or something and play the run pass. Let's see right here if we go into shotgun here.
It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Beckley at the George Washington 41. 10-12 remaining in the game. Beckley up 7-6. And let's see what Price does. He's not going to be in the shotgun. They'll run the tight formation up under center. Goes in motion. They'll hand the ball to Connor Ray. Ray gets to the edge, tries to, and he's stopped for a 1-yard gain. That brings up 4th and 9, and I think if you're Beckley, you would punt and try to hold him down, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, great scrape right there by Gunnar Flores. He's had a well of a game for George Washington. Got in the backfield. Looked like Connor Ray was going to get the edge right there, and great linebacker play. And this is, if you've ever needed, with the old coffin corner kick, right now you don't want to kick it to the middle of the field. You want to angle that thing away and try to pin them inside the 10.
And, Eric, the last couple of punts, Brown hadn't even really tried to fill it. He's just let the ball hit.
They might come after this one.
Here they come. There's the kick. That's going to be a good kick. It's going to hit at the 10, and it's going to roll down to the 6-yard line. And Beckley, well done. You couldn't ask for anything better than that. And Beckley does a great job with the punt, their special teams, and GW will have the ball on their own 6-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you draw it up, and I think that's a smart decision by the coaching staff right there. You live to play some defense, but here with 9:18 left in the game in the ball game, your season's not on the line. You're in the postseason, but this is the drive, I think, Bears, that decides the game.
I agree with you because Beckley's had the ball 3 times in the second half and then ended in 3 punts. They've got George Washington pinned back. GW will take over on their own 6-yard line, 1st and 10. And I agree with you, Eric. I think this is the drive, one way or the other, that will decide who wins this game. Here's going to be a running play for George Washington. There's a hole. There's a big hole. Here's Flores. He's crossed the 30. Crosses the 35. Breaks a tackle. Still going. Gets all the way across the 45-yard line and out to the 47-yard line on the drive's first play.
Yeah, and that's a big chunk play. And your defense is on the heels right here. Great blocking at the point of attack. And everyone, the receivers down the field for George Washington doing their part. And then Flores was able to drag a few defenders for 10 more yards. And what's funny? He is the one that made the big 4th down play on defense for George Washington. So he's been Mr. Everything for GW tonight.
That's a huge run from the 6 out to the 47. 1st and 10 there. Here's Brown. He crosses midfield, takes a big hit, maybe right there at the 49 of Beckley, but a decent gain for George Washington on that first down run.
And now some of those 2 and 3 yard gains are turning into 10, big gainers like 6 yards a whack. And GW really has their offense going now.
They'll put the ball at the Beckley 48, and they'll give Brown 5 on the carry and make it 2nd down and 5 from the Beckley 48-yard line. Persinger waits on the shotgun snap. He gets it. It's going to be another running play. And that time, Brown able to get maybe a yard or 2. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And great tackle in open field right there for Beckley.
The ball will be at the 47-yard line. That was only a 1-yard gain. So they're going to need, looks to be about right at 5 yards to pick up this 1st down. Persinger puts Brown in motion. They fake it to him. They're going to run the screen, and it's dropped.
Wow.
And George Washington had it blocked. That was going to be a big play, and they drop it, and they can't connect. Now a big call for George Washington here on a 4th down.
As we look at this
because
replay,
if Farrell catches this ball,
he makes
Eric, that's a big
It was
gainer.
going to be a block. I think it goes for 6.
It's going to be a big gainer. I don't know whether he would have scored, but it would have been a huge gainer.
Yeah, but that was one of those plays that could be the turning point in the game. Got a break if you're Beckley, but you can't do. If you're Beckley, you can't jump off sides here. You can't rough the kicker. You got to play it safe.
4th down. Here's the punt for George Washington. Eric, we both said that was the drive of the game. We'll see if it turns out to be. 7.5 remaining in it.
Wow.
And Beckley comes up and takes a big risk to catch that ball, and they get the ball at the 24-yard line is where Beckley will take over.
Well, I have to ask you.
A.J. Thomas, who
that should be a flag. He fair caught it. He waved for fair catch. He's waving fair catch. See?
Yep.
See? He can't get hit.
And they're discussing that now.
He clearly waved fair catch. That should be a penalty.
Well, the officials are talking about it now.
He's fair catching it to save it from rolling. You can't make contact with the guy that's fair catching it. That's a penalty.
Well, we'll see if they throw a flag. I don't see one out on the field yet, but the officials are discussing the play. And we'll see what we got.
And A.J. Thomas immediately got up and said that, hey, I was fair catching it. You're allowed to go catch the ball. It's either interference of the catch.
Well, it's a long discussion out there. Still haven't seen a call made.
There's a flag, Lamb. There's
There
a flag
is
on the field.
Flag.
Yes.
We appreciate our producer and director, Maddie Belcher, pointing that out. See, I can't. The reason we can't see
it really does. If you look right here, you cannot see it. But
I
it's
can see it on the screen because Maddie is pointing it out to me. Thank you, Maddie, for that. Because I can't see it looking out on the field. But a flag has been thrown, and now we have one official coming over to tell Beckley coach Street Surratt what the call is. But I haven't seen any indication as what the penalty is going to be.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting.
They're going to have to mark something off here. It was a fair catch.
Well, here comes the white cap, and let's see what we got here. And there you go. Now they're marking it off. There's the call, Eric. You were right on it. That's a 15-yard penalty, and that will take the ball out across the 35, and that'll take the ball out to the 37-yard line on that penalty.
That's a big juncture in this game.
It's huge.
And I was about to say that I thought I didn't see the fair catch until I looked at the replay, because that would have been one of the dumbest attempts to catch a punt if you didn't fair catch it.
So from their own 37, 1st down Beckley. It's going to be a running play, and it's going to get a yard maybe. Now if you're Beckley, can you afford to just try to run the ball and try to be conservative and run out the clock?
Well, here's the thing. We're saying that we can't second guess. You got to dance with the one, that brought you to here, and Beckley's. They're going to line up and try to grind out a 1st down. But I'm thinking the initial 1st down, if you can get that, you can chew into the clock and make GW try to use some timeouts.
Well, that went for no gain. 2nd and 10 for Beckley on their own 37. We're under 7 minutes for the game. Beckley holding on to a 1-point lead.
What you can have is a penalty here.
Got 8 on the play clock. Price up under center. They're going to run the ball again. Gets the ball to Connor Ray and gets out just shy of the 40 to the 39-yard line. Or beg your pardon, that's Ford. Ford with the carry. So they'll get the ball to the 39 and make it 3rd and 8. And that's what I'm saying. Will Beckley take a chance of throwing it here? They have not completed a pass yet tonight.
And you've only had 2 big gainers pass, 10 yards? You've only had 2 runs 10 or more.
So on 3rd and 8 from their own 39-yard line, coming up on the 6-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Beckley leads by 1. Ford puts a man in motion up under center. They're going to quick pitch to the far side, and George Washington is all over it. And a flag comes in.
And it's going to be a hold.
So George Washington, I'm sure, would take the result of the play to make it 4th down and force a Beckley punt.
Exactly right.
As the flag comes in, Beckley on the carry that time for the Flying Eagles that time was Staples, and he's able to get the ball across the 40. But as the flag came in, and if you're GW, I think you would take the result of the play and make it 4th down. The ball's out to the 41, only got 2 yards on the play.
Well, it's definitely going to be nervous time here in the stands on the home side if you're Beckley, because you're going to punt, and
the ball's at the 41, so it'll be 4th down and 6. And no question you're going to punt here with a tick under 6 minutes for the game. And Beckley hanging on to a 1-point lead. Beckley's been in tight games 2 of the last 3 weeks. A 19-14 loser to Oak Hill last week, and then a few weeks back they lost to Princeton 14-7. There comes a kick, and Brown's going to let it hit. It's going to take a Beckley roll, and it's going to roll down near the 20-yard line, and right there it's going to die, and it'll be George Washington at the 20-yard line where this possession will begin for the Patriots. So with 5.5 to go, George Washington has all 3 timeouts. They'll have the ball on their own 20-yard line. They don't need a touchdown, Eric. They can just got to get into field goal range, and I'm not really sure what that range would be, but you got to think they at least got to get the ball inside the Beckley 20. I would think they have a legitimate chance to kick a field goal.
Yeah, and that's one thing. But I think George Washington's not playing for the field goal. They're going to really try to punch it in. And this is what gave Beckley trouble early. Remember, shifting formations in this tunnel screen.
Persinger to throw. It's caught by Giacomo, and he's able to get a yard or 2, and that's about it.
That was dangerous. He lost 2 yards.
Yeah.
If we could get that replay up here.
Yeah, he was able to get a yard or 2 once he caught the ball.
Christian Stewart right here plays that perfect. He almost had the interception.
Yeah, I said that the drive started on the 20. It's actually the 24-yard line where the drive started. The loss goes back to the 22-yard line. So they did lose 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 12.
Well, if you think about this, Maris, you know how we said the season has gone for Beckley. This is the last game of the regular season, but it's also coming down a tightly contested game as their first one because they went on the road at Washington. Remember, they had held them 3 times in the red zone to win that game in overtime.
Beckley blows the play up as the ball is handled to Flores, and that's another big loss back inside the 20.
Yeah,
and makes it 3rd and long.
Big senior coming up big for Beckley right there. That's Drake Bowling, and no bigger play than that one on the penetration, and I'd like to see that out of that kid because he is the one that got penalized. They don't give the numbers on the encroachment, but he was the one that got penalized on that big 3rd and 4 on the scoring drive for George Washington.
So the ball's at the 18-yard line, and they've got to get all the way out to the 34.
But historically.
Here comes the 3rd down play. Hold that thought. Persinger, the throw. They flush him out of the pocket. He's on the move. He looks, and he's going to get sacked back inside the 10. Go ahead and finish that thought.
Well, historically, this has been a bad down for Beckley. In the previous games that we've done, third and 16, they've been giving them up, and I hate to see a player down for George Washington.
So now with 3:44 left, George Washington has no choice but to punt the ball, and if they punt, Beckley has a chance to run out the clock and hang on and perhaps get a 1-point win. Well, we got a minute, Eric, see if you got some scores.
Okay, I'll try some scores. I was trying to get this replay up right here, and the defensive backs really stayed home and didn't run up, on the play, and that helped out. The defensive line was able to get home as you watch this play here. And I'll try to get some scores.
Yeah, there's the replay. Now we had it, but never mind. Guess we don't.
Okay, so
but, Eric, you got some scores?
I'm going to check because we want to see how the double-A falls because I'm going to check these scores. Frankfurt, number 1, rode 55-0 over AAA Kaiser team. Rome County held serve as well and beat AAA number 10 Ripley 43-7. Scott up 17-7 over on Williamstown, number 3 Williamstown. Independence rode 57-14, and Clay County 37, Braxton County nothing in the third quarter.
And how about we have a final yet on Martinsburg and Hurricane?
Martinsburg's up 3 scores.
So they were up, 38-17?
38-17.
And they were down 17-0. They
yes,
scored 38
unanswered. Oh, well, right on cue, they scored again, 44-17.
Wow. All right, so now on 4th down, it's punt time for George Washington. And if you're Beckley, you think
stay away from the ball.
Well,
they're not even
putting anybody back. And, they got to get the ball, George Washington. They have the ball on right there at the 10-yard line.
They got to get to the 40.
No, they got to get to the 35.
Yeah, 35. Well, 34.
Yeah, 34. So they need 24 yards, and now we're going to have another timeout.
Well, Beckley called a timeout. They had their punt.
Right. Well, I mean, you wouldn't think that they would go for it because really, Eric, if I'm George Washington, I got 3 timeouts with 3:44. I think I would punt here because, A,
a lot of things can happen.
Well, A, you're only on your own 10-yard line, and B, you got 3 timeouts, but maybe GW's thinking, look, we'll try to go for it. If we don't get it, if Beckley does get a touchdown and kick the extra point, we can get the ball back, and we can tie it with a touchdown and 2-point conversion. That'd be the only way I would think why George Washington would even consider going for it here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like it's 4th and a few. Like, I understand if it's 4th and 5 on your own 10, but it's 4th, and you got to get out to the 34, 4th and 24.
Yeah, 4th and 24.
Yeah.
I was looking.
It's 4th and 24 where the ball is at the 10-yard line. They got to get out to the 34-yard line to keep the drive going.
What you don't want here, you don't need a pass interference. You want to play
let them catch
sound
it up
defense.
Underneath, yes.
And plus, on press coverage, I would rally to the ball. I would back up. I still think our safeties are too close to the line right here.
You mean Beckley safeties?
Beckley safeties are too close to the line. Beckley.
And they're going to punt. And I thought that's what they would do.
Don't go. You don't need to field it.
Nope. Beckley need to get nowhere near it, and Beckley will take over at the 46-yard line. But, yeah, Eric, I was just thinking there is no way that George Washington would go for it there.
I don't understand running to the ball right there is what I don't understand.
So, Beckley will take over. GW has 3 timeouts. So, you got to figure
2 first downs.
2, maybe 3 would end the game. But what's important, I think, and I think you would agree, Eric, is what you do on first down.
Yes.
I know we always say third down is the money down.
In this offense, is
critical
the
down. First down, you can't get behind the chains, and you're going to run the ball. Probably a heavy dose of Bryce Ford. He's been Beckley's top runner here tonight.
Yeah, and you know what I can't figure out? I don't know if they've saved him. But Connor Ray's carried it twice, and I think you might want to give it to Connor Ray a little bit here. And look, 6 seconds on the play clock.
And Beckley might have to call a timeout, which they do. So Beckley has now had to call a timeout, and now they're down to 1 as they did not get the personnel or the play called quick enough, and they had to take a timeout.
So late in the season, and this just me. I'm not harping on it. It's so late in the season, not on the money drive here. This is the drive to really improve your playoff seeding, and you burn a timeout, and what that does, that gives George Washington the extra, time to talk to their defense and get things set. And this is 3:36 to go. This is the big possession.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Exit Elevation Realty. Luke Richmond, the broker. You can dial him up at 304-256-0101, or you can check him out at wvexitelevation.com. All right, out of the timeout, Beckley will have it at the George Washington 46. 3:36 left for the game. Beckley's down to 1 timeout. GW has all 3. Beckley hanging on to a 1-point lead. And let's see what Beckley will cook up. You know they're going to run the ball. In the tight formation. Price up under center. It's a handoff, as we knew. And a couple yards down inside the 45. And with that carry, that is Christian Stewart.
And there'll be a timeout by George
Washington. Timeout by George Washington.
So they're down to 2.
So they're down to 2 timeouts. Like you said, Eric, 2 first downs would probably do it.
Yeah.
The ball is down to the GW 44-yard line.
But the initial first down will make them use all their timeouts.
Well, yeah, and if they get a loss here, they can they may not have to call a timeout if they can hold Beckley to no gain or put them behind the chains.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, next week the postseason will begin, and Eric, it looks like we'll probably be in Coal City because one, we know with Shady losing tonight, they will not find their way in the top 8. They look like they will make the playoffs at 7-3, but they'll have to go on the road. And we know that Independence came in at number 4, and they were victorious tonight, so we know they'll be at home next week. Now, Beckley, they started this night number 11. GW was number 9. Of course, if GW doesn't rally to win, they're already outside the top 8, and they'll be on the road. I don't know if this win, and I guess depends what else happens, Eric, if perhaps Beckley may be able to jump into the top 8. That we don't know.
Well, I think that Independence moves up or holds serve at 4.
Well, even
because let me give you the scenarios that have happened. Number 3, Williamstown, lost to number 8, Scott, who got beat by Independence.
Here's the way I look at it. Even just for the first round, with Independence winning, we know they're going to get at least 1 home game. All right, out of the timeout, 2nd down. It's going to be another running play right up the gut. And this is going to be a big first down, and that is Bryce Ford. And like I said, that's the guy that he has shown throughout the night, the way he's ran the ball, that when you need to try to protect the lead, that's the guy you want to get the ball to.
Yeah, he was money on that one. But the big guys up front helped with this surge. What good surge here, the initial blocking. Pinned their guys, and this one almost went for 6. Excuse me. There was a safety back there.
Clock is running down, and that might have iced the deal. Beckley should just run this play clock down to 1 or 2 before they snap it. George Washington only has 2 timeouts left, and if Beckley's able to hang on and win, I think everybody would be surprised that not that Beckley won, but the fact that Beckley will win this game without completing a pass.
Yeah. Well, I saw Oak Hill beat Beckley last week and only completed 1.
There's the edge and a good hard run.
And he stayed in bounds.
Yes, he did. That was a nice play by
Good
Stewart.
job. Senior came up big right there.
And that might seal the deal for Beckley.
Wow.
And they'll put the ball down as George Washington will burn a timeout with 2:48. And the ball's at the 22. So basically, Eric, Beckley can pretty much seal the deal here.
Yeah, and this shows a lot of heart for this Beckley team and a lot of heart for GW too. But after going down last year, getting pasted, 63 to 8,
62 to 8, yeah.
62 to 8, and to come and be resilient after 3 straight losses. This is a testament, and I think I told you last week when I had a chance to see him, I said the team. Body language tells you after a loss how close a team is.
Right.
And they seemed like they were together. And that's what it takes, and that's a testament to the young men and the coaching staff.
Well, we said the loser of this game is going to go into the playoffs with consecutive losses, and if George Washington doesn't rally, they'll have lost the last 2 when they get into the playoffs. And Beckley will have a little momentum breaking a 3-game losing streak if they can hang on and get it done here.
Well, hey, our viewers will have to listen to our podcast, our playoff preview podcast, Maris.
Yep, to figure out who's going to be where. So Beckley basically can run the clock out here with only 1 timeout remaining. And they'll run the ball to Ford. And George Washington, I think, is just going to let him score.
Go down.
Yeah, I think George Washington was going to let him score, and Ford could have scored, and he goes down. But you're right, GW was just going to give it up and just let him score.
Yeah. You don't go. He almost ran in the. What Super Bowl did that happen in? And I think it was Ahmad Bradshaw. Ahmad Bradshaw was and almost went in and slid at the 1.
So at the 1-yard line, Beckley can just take.
I'm taking knees.
Take knees and win this game. And it looks like, like I said, I don't think very many people would thought that Beckley would be able to win without completing a pass. People obviously knew that Beckley could win the game, but maybe not win the game, well, like I said, without a pass completion. And they do run it in for a touchdown. So I don't understand why Ford slid if they're going to turn around and run a touchdown in on the next play. So now with 1:58 left, it's 13-6. You have to make the extra point, and GW will get the ball back and have one timeout left. So that is a 46-yard drive in 5 plays. 5 plays, 46 yards, and Beckley goes up 13-6. Could you see who ran that touchdown?
I did not see who ran that one.
Here's the point after. It's up, and it is good. So with 1:58 left in the game, your new score is Beckley 14, George Washington 6. That was a 5-play, 46-yard drive. They got a 1-yard touchdown run. And your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. Nothing tastes quite as good as that ice-cold Pepsi. So now, Eric, George Washington will get the ball back with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game. They have 1:58 left, and they have a timeout. And it makes me think that if Bryce Ford slid at the goal line, why would they run it in? Why didn't they, if he wasn't going to run it in, why would they have just taken a knee? Because they could have taken a knee and ran out the clock. I'm trying to see who actually was that carried that across the goal line, and I couldn't quite tell in all that humanity. So Beckley will have to kick it off, and George Washington's still alive with 1:58 left in the game. So the one thing, if you're Beckley, Eric, I don't think you'd want to kick the ball to Giacomo. He's standing on the far side 10. Even if you kicked it out of bounds, I don't think you want to kick it to him.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not kicking this deep. I'm kicking it.
Well, you don't want to kick it too short.
No, I'm kicking. But the Umberger's been pretty good at placing the ball.
Yeah.
I'm placing it in between the 20 and the 30.
And here comes the kick, and exactly right, and that exactly where it goes, a big hop. It is returnable. And let's see, crosses the 30, 35, out of midfield, not quite the midfield, beg your pardon, and Brown, as he was down, the ball came out, but he was down. And George Washington's going to have the ball across the 45 at the 46-yard line. 1:50 left in the game, one timeout, and a chance if GW can go down and get a touchdown and 2-point conversion to try to tie the game.
Perfectly executed, but not covered well. Too much reaching and grabbing, and gave them an extra 20 yards here. And it's not over, folks.
Oh, no.
This is not over.
It's excitement and nervous time here at Van Meter Stadium in Beckley. GW from their own 46-yard line. Persinger from the shotgun. Takes the shotgun snap. Sets in the pocket. Pressure comes. He's hit. The ball's out. And Beckley's going to recover to win the game. No,
they call it incomplete.
They're calling an incomplete pass. And
wow.
Persinger is hurt. Persinger's down on – no, that's a Beckley player. I beg your pardon. A Beckley player is hurt. I can't see the number. And that will be an incomplete pass. I thought it was a fumble, too, when I watching it live. I can't quite see who that is. And let me see. And the way he's sitting down, I can't see his number. But it'll be an incomplete pass and make it 2nd and 10 with 1:43 left in the game.
I think that's Jaheim Miller, maybe. 18.
I can't see his number, especially now with all the coaches around him. No way to see who that is. But Beckley dialed up the heat. Maybe we had the old tuck rule right there, right?
Yeah.
Because at live, it did. It looked like a fumble from here. But the officials say it's an incomplete pass. And they'll attend to the injured Beckley player. Once again, the way he's sitting, they can't see his number.
Yeah, I hope it's not serious, but he looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he sure does.
Wow.
So while we got a minute, Eric, see if we got some more scores you can update us on, as this is the final week of the regular season. Postseason begins next week.
Okay. The player injured is a sophomore, Marcus Berger.
Yep, 53.
He put the pressure on him. I mean,
sure
he
did.
came.
He dialed up the heat for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the AAA ranks. Let's see. The Princeton is down 35-28 in the third quarter to Parkersburg South.
Big comeback for Parkersburg South. All right, we're ready to play. 2nd and 10 for George Washington on their own 46-yard line. Persinger from the gun. Waits on the snap. Sets back, throws, caught, got out of bounds, and that is Brown to make the reception. And he caught it right there in front of the Beckley bench in Beckley territory at the Flying Eagle 46-yard line.
And you have to play soft. You have to play a little soft coverage here because you don't want it to anything behind you. And I'm telling you, this is a situation where you're putting a lot on your defense here.
3rd and 2 from the Beckley 46. Persinger, a running play. That'll be a first down. Flores inside the Beckley 40. And let's see if they put him down at the 39. The clock will stop momentarily to set the chains.
Yeah, but they're already up to the line of scrimmage. And this chain game is not – they're moving at a snail's pace.
The clock is running now. They set the clock. They set the chains down from the Beckley 39. Persinger takes the shotgun snap, sets in the pocket, steps up.
Big time
Pressure
hold.
comes. He throws. Is there a flag?
They missed it.
I don't see a flag out there.
Right in the middle of the defense.
And it'll be an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 for George Washington at the Beckley 39-yard line. 1:17 here for the fourth quarter. George Washington needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie and perhaps send this game to overtime. Play clock at 15. 2nd and 10 from the Beckley 39. Persinger from the shotgun. Takes the shotgun snap. Rolls the pocket. Rolls the far side. Looks, throws, and it's incomplete. And that play had no chance. The receiver was out of bounds, and I was really kind of curious as he was rolling Eric to the far side, and I'm looking down the field. I'm like, I don't know who he's going to get the ball to because there was nobody open.
Yeah, and this is what you got to do here. You have to rush the passer, but you have to maintain your rush lanes. I'm keeping him in the pocket and just putting pressure on him that way. You can't let him get outside and create a defensive back breakdown. I still don't understand why Beckley's safety is not 20 yards off.
Here's the shotgun snap. Persinger going deep. Going to go to Brown, and he doesn't make the catch. Good coverage, and now it's down to one final play, 4th and 10 for George Washington. And, Eric, I'm really surprised that George Washington would go that deep. Seems like they've been going deep a lot and really haven't had the success going deep. You would think on 3rd down, maybe you try to get half or 6 or 7 to make it more manageable on 4th down.
And you're right, and this makes it for all the marbles. But if you're Beckley, you can't get baited into a pass interference.
Well, another thing that if you're George Washington, you at least got to run 10 yards. I don't think you can throw the ball short and hope to catch it and run for the first down. So it is 4th and 10. This is the game right here. 1:03 left. Persinger from the shotgun takes the snap. Sets up, throws, seam route, caught, first down, inside the 20, and they made a beautiful connection, and that is Giacomo on the reception, and a first down at the Beckley 16.
Wow, what a strike. Stood in the pocket here, Persinger, and delivers a blow to this defense right in the middle of 5 defenders.
That's the best pass he's thrown all night.
Yeah, and no time in that.
And they're going to clock it and save the timeout with 47 seconds left. And I'm surprised after they got up here they would clock it there. I thought maybe just go ahead and run a play since they didn't burn the timeout. So it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, but no time really ran. No, you lost a second, so that was the correct thing to do.
So it'll be 2nd down, but you gave up a down, though. So I would probably would have just went ahead and ran it, but I guess neither here or there. So 47 seconds and 16 yards separates George Washington from going for 2 in a potential tie.
Yeah, but you're right. You saved it down, but you also saved a timeout in case you're tackled in the middle of the field.
So here's Persinger. Blitz comes. They pick it up. He rolls out. He looks. Nowhere to go with the ball. He's going to throw it away, and that's a smart play by Persinger.
And the big guys for Beckley up front probably gassed. But, hey, this is where that summer conditioning comes into play. You need to really pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. Once he sets his feet, you saw when he set his feet in that pocket on that big third down pass that you can't give them time.
With the way Beckley's running and going back in pass coverage, they have a timeout. You think they might run the ball here? They might try to hit maybe something quick opener?
I mean,
because you have a timeout.
They could. But here's where your linebackers have to stay. Reeve 17, you have to stay home.
That's what they're going to do. Run what I tell you. I told you they would. And they get the ball down inside the 10 to the 5. They get in the end zone for a touchdown. And George Washington, with 30 seconds left in the game, are a 2-point conversion away from a tie. And I could see the way they were setting up that they were going to run that ball, and they did. And it's a 16-yard touchdown. And that's an amazing 10-play, 54-yard drive as Flores has been Mr. Everything for George Washington tonight. And now GW will call a timeout, and now the game on the line as they go for 2. But I just kind of felt the way the alignment was that they were going to spread Beckley out, and the way Beckley was rushing, and they were going to run the ball.
Yep.
Even though, and I didn't think, and it probably shouldn't have went for a touchdown. They missed a couple of tackles. But as you alluded, I think a lot of the Beckley players, especially the ones that are rushing, a little bit gassed.
Yeah,
and they just couldn't really get onto him, and Flores busted for a 16-yard touchdown. So your scoring recap brought to you by Pepsi of Southern West Virginia. Love to have you an ice-cold Pepsi right about now. That was a 10-play, 54-yard drive and a 16-yard touchdown run by Flores. And now we got the game on the line again as it's a 2.5 yards separates George Washington from a tie and separates Beckley from potential overtime or a win.
Well, I think George Washington, you can very well run the ball here as well, spread them out. Because I think Flores has been really gashing them.
I think they're going to throw the ball here. I think when you're down to one play for everything, I think they'll throw it. We'll see what they do.
And we look right here. You have Savion Brown
here comes
is in the backfield.
So on the snap, they'll roll the pocket. They look to throw. Looking, throws in the end zone, and it's incomplete. And Beckley will hang on if they can recover the onside kick. But the one thing about it, when I saw Persinger rolling, I knew that wasn't going to work out for George Washington.
Yeah, you know what? And this was a well-defended play because they got in the hip pocket of Brown as he went. There's no room to complete that pass.
Yeah, when I saw Brown roll the pocket, Persinger rolled the pocket, then I knew that Beckley was going to be successful, and a good job by that Beckley defense. They gave up the touchdown, but they were able to hold on the 2-point conversion. Now they got to be able to recover the onside kick.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have the hand seat because you have to recover it because if they get it, they still have a timeout. They still have a timeout and a time to complete a pass and kick a field goal. Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're not done yet. It's nervous time at Van Meter Stadium, and Beckley's got to make one more play, and that's recover the onside kick to snap their 3-game losing streak. And they do have their good hands team out there. George Washington will kick it from the near side hash, and they look like they're going to kick it to the far side of the field, Eric, the way the kicker is lining up the tee and lining up the ball. And on this turf, what you want is that big in-between high hop.
Yes. And, and these guys can execute this. You have the, great kicker.
And here we go. There's that big high hop, and it goes out of bounds. And Beckley will get the ball and able to take a knee and seal the deal. So Beckley is going to get the win. They're going to finish at 6-4.
Will they? Got to secure this snap.
George Washington will fall at 7-3. And Eric, I'll be the first to tell you, not surprised that Beckley won, but surprised they won without ever completing a pass.
Yeah, that's tough.
And there's the penalty flag. It's a penalty on. Well, they picked the flag up. Because Beckley
the ball was touched by the up back.
Well, I guess, and not only that, Beckley can decline the penalty.
Yeah.
Either or, it'll be Beckley's ball. They just got to take a knee and win what turns out to be a thrilling 14-12 game. And Beckley wins the turnover battle. They won the turnover battle by 2. They're going to win the game by 2.
They sure are.
Beckley able to stop 2 2-point conversions by George Washington, and Beckley able to just a knee away from getting the win and finishing 6-4. And now have to wait and see from all the other results tonight as there's the final play. Beckley wins it. Your final score, Beckley 14, George Washington 12. Beckley will finish 6-4. George Washington will fall to 7-3. We'll take a break, come back, and get you to the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show coming up next here on Video Productions.
Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert Z. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
When you're about to go on the most important journey, it matters who you choose to start it with. From your very first prenatal appointment, Access Health's dedicated team is here to support you with the latest technology and personalized care. Preparing for your little one's arrival is a special time. And when the big day arrives, you can be confident knowing you have the same team to guide and support you. Access Health, your partner in health every step of the way.
To your home among the hills. At West Virginia Wesleyan College, you'll unearth new passions, be exposed to fresh perspectives, and find what drives you. This place of discovery is where you can become a scientist, a leader, an athlete, a performer, a friend. Opportunities include research, internships, and study abroad. Plus, our vibrant community makes for experiences you'll never forget. Discover yourself at West Virginia Wesleyan College.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
My name is Lizzie Hess, and I am a cosmetologist in Teays Valley, West Virginia. The Jumpstart Savings Program is a career savings account, and it just helps to save money so that you can invest in yourself or invest in products that you would need with whatever technical career you're currently in.
The Jumpstart Savings Program is celebrating skilled workers and offers state tax advantages while you save for future expenses.
Having funds to be able to supply anything that I need is awesome.
Find out if a Jumpstart Savings account is right for you. Take the quiz today.
And we welcome you back to Van Meter Stadium in Beckley, where the Beckley Flying Eagles have defeated George Washington 14-12. Beckley with the win. They snap a 3-game losing streak. They go to 6-4 on the regular season. George Washington, Eric, they will fall to 7-3. And really, it was kind of what we had at the beginning of the game and at the end of the game as we welcome everybody into the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show. But it was thrilling because it looked like Beckley was ready to put the game away. As Bryce Ford broke it, looked like George Washington was just letting him score, and he slid down at the 1 thinking that Beckley would just run the timeout. But Beckley went ahead and scored, and then with 1:58 left in the game and one timeout gave George Washington time to go down the field, and George Washington got a touchdown, but then Beckley able to hold him on the 2-point conversion and win the game 14-12.
Yeah, the difference in the game were two-point conversions failed, and if you look at the numbers, if you want me to go ahead and go over
We'll get that in a minute. One thing I do want to touch on, and the thing that way back in 3 hours ago when we were in our first break in the pregame show, we both said that whoever won the turnover battle tonight would be the team to win the game. And I know you can say that in about any game, but sometimes like in high school, you might have one turnover, you might have two, another team have one, and you still win the game.
Well,
but there were critical turnovers for George Washington because one led to a Beckley touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it was points off turnover battle was won by Beckley, and 7-0 on that. And then the turning point in the game is when Beckley false started on the extra point. And you and I would have just tacked it on because sometimes, half the distance, if you don't get it, I felt that gave the momentum back to Beckley at that juncture.
And, on that touchdown drive by George Washington, Beckley jumped off sides on a 3rd and 4. And then they had a pass interference, and then they jumped off sides on the extra point.
So out of it was a 70-yard drive. I recall, right? 10-play, 70-yard drive. Yeah. And aided by 3 penalties.
Yes. All right, you have the numbers of this Beckley victory.
And so these numbers, the final score is, of course, Beckley 14, George Washington 12. George Washington had 282 total yards, Maris, 153 through the on the ground, and Flores led the way. He had 12 carries, 134 yards, 129 through the air, as they were 12 of 28, Cy Persinger, 12 of 28 for 129 yards through the air. Leading receiver was Giacomo for 4 catches for 58 yards, but didn't have any after the first half.
Right after the intermission.
Beckley had 172 yards, all on the ground of total offense, led by Ford, 17 carries, 92 yards. And Stewart had 5 carries for 25 to be the second leading rusher, and none was bigger than that first down that he picked up as to aid them on that scoring drive, trying to run the clock out.
Right. So, another big thing, too, Eric, is we're moving forward. We know both of these teams will be in the postseason. George Washington, with this loss, we're number 9 coming in, so they know. And I don't know if they'll stay 9. I don't know how far back they'll go, where they go, but we do know.
Could this be an 8-9?
Well, what would happen if George Washington would stay at 9 and say Beckley moved to 8 and they play next week? I don't know. I guess it's
We're
possible.
Just saying what if.
Because I don't know. I wait till the pairings come out. But Beckley was number 11. George Washington, there's a whole bucket of bonus points.
Yes.
And you get the win for beating them, plus you get the bonus points. So I guess it depends on what else transpires tonight to see where Beckley will be. But we'll take one final break, and we'll wrap this up and put a bow on it, and we'll do it on the other side of this break here in the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show here on Video Productions.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our New Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Compliance helped me lose 50 pounds by freeing up tasks like payroll, HR, and bookkeeping. I'm now free to do what I want.
With compliance, you can do what you want to do. Compliance, we've got your back office.
Don't drop the ball. Come see your hometown legends at the all-new Greenbrier Ford in Beckley. We won't be beat.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
The most mouth-watering showdown on television. The Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off. Right here at your local Little General store. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton. Or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
It's fourth down, seconds on the clock. He hands it off, finds a hole in the middle. Clear, nothing but moves! A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
It's our 21st anniversary here at Dan Cava Toyota World. Check out our all-wheel drive hybrid sedans with interest rates as low as 4.5%. Shop the 3 C's, Camrys, Corollas, and Crowns. We have a large selection of Tundras, starting as low as $49,000 and up to $7,000 off. We want to thank you for being a part of our family for 21 years. Come celebrate with us at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
And we welcome you back in one final time here at Van Meter Stadium. Final score, Beckley defeats George Washington 14-12. Beckley finishes the regular season at 6-4. George Washington finishes the regular season 7-3. Eric, Beckley breaks a 3-game losing streak. George Washington will have a 2-game losing streak going into the playoffs. Your take of the season real quickly and what you think we may see moving forward in the postseason.
Well, my take on the season for Beckley, hats off to that team for sticking together after 3 tough losses. You know, Princeton game, I really think snowballed into 2 more losses for them, and not, you know, they ran up against a lot better opponents. But tonight was a bounce-back win for them. This was a gritty win, and it shows what this team could be. And this George Washington team, if you look, they came in 7-2. They had they lost to Hurricane, but they had put 21 points up on that team. So the defense really showed up for Beckley tonight. And and GW, you knew was going to be a good opponent. And going forward, I'm looking forward to see who these two teams match up with, because I think in that first round contest, they're going to give some teams some problems, but Beckley has to find some semblance of a passing offense moving forward.
One final question before we wrap this up. In 4A, outside of Spring Mills, can anyone else beat Martinsburg?
Outside of Spring Mills, and I really don't think neutral field, I don't think anyone's beaten Martinsburg.
Well, it'd only be a neutral field unless you played them in the championship. But because it looks like with Martinsburg, with that comeback win, they'll be number one. Whoever to get past them, you're going to have to go to Martinsburg.
So to answer your question, I really don't think so.
I don't think so
because
either.
they spot a good a Hurricane team, 17 points. And then rolled them.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it from here. We'll have a playoff game next week. We don't know where we'll be yet. We have to wait till the pairings come out on Sunday. You can watch our on Facebook, and you can also watch on our webpage to where we will be. For our entire crew here, for Mr. Nick Eskins and Maddie Belcher, produced and direct, did a great job. For the stat man, Chris Farish, our cameraman, Jackie Moon, and for my partner, Eric Thomas, I'm Maris Lowry, repeating the final score. Beckley beats George Washington 14-12. Good night, everybody.